the black dragon Chardon Sierra Vitriol, commonly known as the Ebon Death, settled in the Mere of Dead Men, making his lair in the ruined citadel of Uth Tower. Ebon Death became a Dracolich and was worshipped by the cult of the dragon until the death god Mirkul's influence waned across Faerun, and the dragon's bones turned to dust. The cultists fled across the sea. With Mirkul's return to the Pantheon, his worshippers have quested across the seas once again to rekindle Ebon Death's spirit. Led by the death priest Ularan Mortis, they unearthed the dragon's mausoleum and awakened its slumbering soul, binding it to the unwilling body of the ancient green dragon called Clogili Almatar, or Nabon. Old Nabon. Ularan Mortis hoped to use the dragon to capture the Ruined Stone, an artifact of great power. While they remain on the Sword Coast, Ularan Mortis and his cultists have claimed Ebon Death's mausoleum as their headquarters in the area. Following the Siege of Leyland, Ebon Death was unsuccessful in getting the Ruined Stone, and has returned to the mausoleum in spirit form, without the artifact, and without Old Nabon's body. And now, the heroes of Leyland know what they must do to finish this threat once and for all. Any information of that you guys previously didn't know, you learned from Galio and Robillard as they returned to town after the Siege of Leyland and told you exactly where to go. And so that is the ruined citadel of Uth Tower, and everyone made preparations, got your long rest in, full health, full spell slots. I am going to warn you guys that as I was describing earlier, written in the module, this dungeon, Ebon Death's Mausoleum, is a little. I think it's a little too much. I think it's a little powerful. There's a lot of stuff that deals a ton of damage. The CR values on some of these monsters are high, and I was like, well, they wrote it knowing that the players would not be level 13, and I've already leveled you guys up to 13. So, you probably won't have any too much trouble, but just know that it's a little bit tougher than what's usually presented, or so I think. You guys might just steamroll it all, and I'll be over here, shaking my fist like a cartoon villain.
Sure.
Before we go, any more healing potion that Bill could have?
So you can buy healing potions.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got money.
Yeah, we might as well spend every cent we got.
Yeah, let's see here.
This could be like a dragon horde, so I think we're good.
All right, I have a potion of healing in the bag of holding that I have, so add that to just a normal potion of healing, but to add that to your inventory, Belle.
Okay.
I got a potion of vitality. What that does.
They've didn't level up.
What are you talking about?
That just maximizes
The
rest.
cat log betrayed you.
All right, how much are healing potions?
They are 50 gold apiece. And following the Siege of Leyland, all the town's supplies have been consolidated in one place, and they have many of them.
How about superior healing?
Have anything other than normal healing?
Superior healing. I thought I had that somewhere. Oh, you know what I do? In my D&D folder.
Right next to the
Closed. No, that's stuck. Let's see. Potion of Greater Healing is 150 gold.
We're not hurting for money, I assume.
I
Right.
would freaking sell the bar to
We're not hurting.
finance this.
You are not selling my forge.
How many superior healings do they have available?
I have
Oh, you
one.
said greater. Sorry.
Yeah, I have
How
one
many
superior
greater?
healing on Azure
I have one as well.
and 2 greater healings.
Oh, geez. How many
Um,
greater healings do they have for sale?
I have one superior and one greater healing, or one superior and 2 greater healing on hand, and a regular healing potion.
I have
All
nothing
right.
because I get hit by a dragon's breath.
They have 4 superior healings for sale.
We will take all 4 of them. How much is that?
4 times 150 is 600.
You said 150 is for greater healing.
Oh, shit.
Do they have 4 of those available?
Hey, if we get a saving the town discount, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, let's see. So greater healing. So let me pull up real quick superior healing. I usually have
84
this.
plus 8.
Usually have that stuff up. Okay,
And
so
he's-
there's greater, and then superior. And I told you there was 4 superior healings, right?
You said there's 4 greater healings.
Oh, 4 greater
don't know.
healings.
Tell me what
Okay.
how many you want. I don't care.
All right, so let's see how many superiors they have. 3 of those.
We'll take them. How much?
That would be 400 gold per.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So we have 4 greater healings and 3 superior healings, and we just paid 1,800 gold. So how about 2 emeralds that were worth 1,000 gold piece each? Will they take that?
Jack Torver tells you that he'll accept both of those in exchange for all that stuff, and then
Cool.
like Griselda Copperrod is like, basically about to smash his face against the wall and forces him to hand back one of them.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Can I get maybe some scrolls like a mass cure wounds or a mass healing word, even a heal? Or is that too much research for it?
See. No, hold on. I've got mass cure wounds. What level is that?
5th.
This.
That is going to be. I actually do have that in my Excel spreadsheet here. That is going to be 750 gold.
Mass cure wounds is 3d8 plus spellcaster modifier for the entire party at one time.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Good deal.
Fairfax, you want that one because I already have one. You can have a
Yeah, I'll
second
take it.
one. Okay.
Are you covering that out of the money then bag in your bag of holding? Or am I covering that?
Do I
It
have money
doesn't
left?
matter. I'll cover it. Yeah. 750. Okay, 725. Great. Well, let's figure out. So if nobody minds, I'm taking one of the superior healings.
Yeah, of course. You're good.
Yeah. I've got one myself, so if you. Hey,
I'll take one potion of greater and one potion of superior. How about that?
wow.
as a thought, I mean, we know his breath weapon does necrotic damage. Is there anything you guys could think that would make us a little more resistant to that? Because your resist element spell is not going to save us against that.
What's this?
Hey,
What about what about absorb elements?
Absorb elements. You have to be like a potion of resist. The absorb doesn't do necro, I don't think.
I don't think it does. I thought it was,
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. Yeah, okay.
right? I mean, there's got to be some sort of clerical.
I think we still have. I still have a potion of necrotic resistance and a potion of poison resistance. Do we still have? Does everybody still have those?
I don't ever remember getting it.
I don't think
before.
I never got one because I already have the resistance to necrotic.
I've got poison resist. All right. Well, regardless, there's still 2 superior healings and 4 greater healings. Who wants them?
Anyone who can't heal.
Yeah, I will take a greater healing. I have a split it up because I have a superior and I have a greater.
Take a greater. Bell, take a superior.
Another one?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I got one.
we bought 3. Did you get one of those 3?
Yeah.
All right, take 2.
Yeah, definitely take 2 because you usually stoke a lot of damage.
Take 2. I got the 1. So superiors are all accounted for.
Okay.
2 of the 4 graders are accounted for, so that's 2 graders left.
Let's see.
All right. Well, I'm taking one then.
Well, Fairfax, how are you set? Because you're not all in hit points.
I still have 1 superior and 2 greater, so I'm good.
All right.
I got a superior and 2 greater. So there's 1 greater left.
Hammer.
I was going to say either give it to Hammerbell or give it to Azure so that he can, stand up and actually heal.
Right.
All right, we're good.
All right. Just because I like doing stuff like this, one of you. Let's choose one of you. I'm looking at the chat, and I'm going to roll a d10. So that's a 7. So, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Scatter. Scatter. You're gonna roll me a D100, and let's do this again.
Yay! That's either really good or meaningless.
Yep, that is really good. You guys get a Dabra comes out, and she's very like, oh my god, you guys saved the town and everything, and like she was the first person you guys saved like 2 years ago. So she's very appreciative, and she gives you a potion that she's been working on using just things from other stuff, and she gives you a single potion of invulnerability.
Ooh.
Great.
Wow.
How good is it?
It's resist everything.
Oh.
It's like you have resistance to all damage for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Well, let her go hog wild with her fucking reckless attack and shit like that. Damn it, Webley.
What potion?
Webley's got his I can turn into a fucking amazing demon spell.
Angel for this one. Necrotic.
Yeah. I've been able to do that since level 1. Bring it, fucker.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about necrotic damage for Webley, so.
No. I definitely think we should probably give that to our front line.
Yeah, go ahead, Belle.
Thanks.
Well, wait. She's what kind of resist do you get from your class?
From raging, she just gets normal bludgeoning and piercing and slashing.
Does her have poison resist? Sorry.
Well,
Not,
she has poison.
Right. But
not
not
yeah,
necrotic.
necrotic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried. Those dragon claw. Oh, shite. How about some potions of bravery or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Immune to fear.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of anti-fear stuff available.
Oh.
Oh, what level? Wait, what level of stuff can our cleric cast at this point?
5.
Can't cast 6. Damn it! All right. Hero's Feast is the awesome one,
Well,
but I think that's 6th level.
yeah, but maybe they don't. Maybe we go to the local temple and say, "Hey, we're going out to either die or save everybody." So
Calm emotion. We'll do it. Level 2. Double check real quick.
It'll suppress things, so it'll come back, and it's only concentration up to a minute.
I've been suppressing things my entire life. It's
Sure.
okay. It's
I can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened.
Yeah.
But still, it's up to a minute. If we're not
Yeah.
dead by then, it's better than nothing. And wouldn't you
And
guys?
it's a nice area of effect. So if we're still kind of grouped together,
And would you guys? Well, if we get hit by fear, I can cast it. And wouldn't you guys still be getting your saving throws throughout?
I would think so.
Yeah. All right, make sure you have it memorized.
Okay. Fuck, what to give up?
I gotta unfair myself of ability, so it's not a problem.
I do not, and my whiz save kind of sucks.
Well, if I use Beacon of Hope before we get into before we run into the fear, that'll get us advantage on the Wisdom saves.
Well, that's
That's something.
definitely better than nothing. Yeah.
The spell Good and Evil could do it, but that's a 5th level spell slot that gets rid of it.
Yeah, Beacon of Hope also gives us max heal for the duration as long as I maintain concentration on it.
Cool.
All right, we're good. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh, sorry about that. I was muted. All right. So, as you guys have been told, the mausoleum lies underneath the Uth Tower, an ancient keep swallowed by the Mayor of Dead Men. Trekking on foot into the salt marshes is arduous work, and the journey takes well over a day. However, due to the recent proliferation and likely destruction of a great deal of undead from the region, the party doesn't run into anything hostile. The journey could almost be considered serene if it weren't for the destination occupying your minds. In absence of a total and overbearing evil, life will once again flourish in the mirror with beauty and danger. I guess what I'm saying is that the mirror will be balanced, as all things should be. And all right, so you have arrived. We'll just go to this one. It's down there in the Mirror of Dead Men, slightly
Sure.
off map. And the point on the map has been pointed out to you, and on the surface, the entrance looks like nothing more than a timber latrine sitting in the middle of nowhere. However, you know that it is a shaft that descends to the catacombs below.
Cool.
Would you like to go down?
No.
I mean, there's a ladder.
Our dark dudes, how far down does it go? They can see 120 feet.
Yeah, actually, if you lower, one of the any of the either of the warlocks, they just get a few rungs down on the ladder and they can see the ground, and they see that it's dark all the way down. But it does there's a ground, and so you could roughly surmise that it's 120 feet.
Okay.
But the ladder looks like it's in good shape.
I don't mind going down first. If I fall, it's not a big deal. Like
I'll
if the
go
ladder,
after.
ladder breaks or something. So
I'll go last. If I fall, you guys can catch me.
sure.
All heavy armor.
The one guy in plate mail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
if he falls, then the sorcerer could cast feather falling, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
He can pop his wings and come to a nice gentle landing.
Or you
Yeah,
can
it's
belly
true.
flop and say, fuck it. I'll heal afterwards.
Yeah. So I'll test the rungs as I go down, but assuming everything's okay.
All right. Can everybody see?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So you're down there. This is the. Let's see. Next page. The shaft descends into a worked stone hallway. One end of the hall is collapsed, and the other terminates in a pair of giant ebony doors. A thin layer of mist swirls over the floor, and the air is unnaturally cold. As you step onto the flagstones, a voice from nowhere whispers, "Who is dead but cannot die? The Lord of Bones, whose embrace is patient but sure."
Yeah. Can you paste that?
I guess. I mean, it's better than me just repeating it a bunch.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, my browser just crashed. Reloading.
All right. Who's dead but cannot die? The Lord of Bones, whose embrace is patient for sure.
If anybody would like to, they can make a religion check if you're proficient with it.
I am not proficient.
I will as soon as I can.
Okay. Yeah, Azure,
It's Marco.
you can't really determine from the riddle any religious connotations.
I'd probably say the worst thing that could possibly be is probably
We know this is a tomb of Miracul, though, correct?
You do know that it's a tomb of Verkul, yes.
And we do know he's called the Lord of Bones, right?
You've never heard that before.
Really? In all the town meetings and stuff? Okay.
Nope.
Well, go ahead, Webley. Open that door.
I do listen to the door.
Give me a perception check then.
I will do this.
The door talks back.
All right, I got to restart my computer. It's really
Nice.
wigging out.
All right, we'll wait. Webley, with that perception check,
Wow.
yeah, holy crap. What did you roll?
19.
A percentage.
19 plus 5 plus 6. Good God. Okay. You hear faint snoring noises and rhythmic breathing. Because you rolled so incredibly high, you understand that some of the rhythmic breathing is kind of raspy, and it's the kind of breathing that you know is from an undead creature. very, very. It's got that very wet, raspy breathing. Kind of just that gurgling almost to it.
Yeah,
And
it's my smoker's cough I hear in the morning. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear that rhythmic breathing, but then you also hear just what is clearly some humanoid people just sleeping and gently snoring in the next room.
Okay.
Does he let us? Do you let us know about that?
I look up and say, I think it's empty.
Nice.
And then I
Go ahead,
smile
go
and I smile and I tell you what I heard exactly in my interpretation of it.
All right. I'll pop up a pass without trace for us.
Excellent.
And I think we're probably just waiting for Thor at this point, right?
Yes.
And there's no light sources, correct? We're all dark visioning it.
In this room, correct.
Okay.
There's no light peeking under the door or anything like that.
The door is a complete seal.
Oh, okay.
Is there a handle on the door or something like that? Or
There is not.
so somebody better make that religion check, is what you're saying.
Oh, that's the password?
Yeah.
I mean, so as Doc pointed out, the answer is mere cool. But I mean, if you think your character would be like Lord of Bones, that sounds like mere cool. I mean, that's let's. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
It's logical.
Eventually, it would have been a guess because Mercurial is one of the main bad guys we're fighting so far. We know that. Eventually, it could have been a guess.
Yeah.
Eventually, it probably wouldn't be right off the bat, but
we'll give Azure time to. We'll give Farax time to roll his dice. He's a smart religious dude.
Yeah. So Azure rolled an 8.
Yeah.
So you're passing without trace. So my guess is you guys are going to try to be very stealthy as you go into this room.
Yes.
And our paladin has the boots of Elvenkind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or paladin. Our clerk.
Do you want stealth rolls?
Yeah. You know what? While we're waiting on Fairfax, go ahead and give me stealth rolls. And it is plus 10 to whatever you roll.
Oh.
Jesus. Well, at least it wasn't a disadvantage.
14. These boots are. I'm like going really quiet. I look at Doc. Man, these boots are great.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thankfully, I'm using the passive perception of the monsters on the other side. I mean, of anybody who might be on the other side.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Jen, Bell, Azure, Webley. Fairfax, I saw you rejoined.
Yeah, it's still loading in. It's randomizing dice rolls, sort of.
Clear master lane, you think you need master lane?
Is anybody playing Diablo 2 now that it re-released, by the way?
I just saw that. I didn't pick it up or anything, but
Oh my
Not yet.
god.
is it good?
I haven't slept in 2 days.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's all the fun of the old stuff, but it looks,
Yeah.
good.
So when it does pop in, Fairfax, first give me a religion check and then a stealth check. Or if you're still having issues, I can always just roll that stuff for you from your sheet.
Yeah, go ahead and roll those for me. It's just loading in the character sheet now. I still don't have the map yet. Or at least I don't think I have it yet.
All right. So, yeah, you guys have never heard Mirkul referred to as the Lord of Bones, but I mean, it's kind of a shitty password, when you could just brute force it by saying the name of the guy who runs the place, So between Fairfax rolling pretty decently and the rest of you guys just being like, yeah, it's probably just Mirkul. That's it.
So the password is password.
Yeah.
Right.
And when one of you says, yeah, it's probably just Mirkul, the door slowly opens, revealing beyond it. Let's see. This chamber looks like it was once a storeroom, but is now used as a camp for Uluran Mortis's cultists and some guests. Bedrolls are laid over the floor. A fire burns in a brazier in the center of the room. There are some guests that are just kind of bent over, just kind of chilling near the fire, and there are obviously people who are just laying around the room. You guys rolled well enough that they don't see you.
Is this the only that I can see, the only light source in the room?
Yes, that is the only light source.
Okay. And it's a like a brazier full of stuff, or is it a fire pit, or what is it?
Yeah, it's just a brazier,
Okay.
and it's just fire.
Okay. I'd like to take out the light source if possible, but if Mel wants to run in there, that's fine by me.
You're gonna surprise attack.
So I'm definitely going to let you guys definitely going to let you guys kind of talk it out and think about the best way. What you do know is that going into this room, I mean, there's a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people sleeping in this room. You don't know who's in other rooms, and what causing noise might do.
Right. All right. I say charge in there, Bell. I'll silence the place. I can't. That's going to take away the pass without trace, though. But
Yeah.
It helps so much.
Well, but here's, I mean, it's going to take it away, but if you've got the silence, yeah, it's going to be useless once we get in there anyways.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I don't want to burn through a ton of key, but I think this is worth keeping under wraps. So, yeah, we'll do that. I'll drop the pass without trace and pitch a silence, and Belle can run in and do her thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the radius on silence?
Silence is that
20 foot?
20 foot radius.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this is it.
Drop it. Yeah, I will drop it. Yeah, in the center.
Okay, should we position ourselves to take these guys out quickly? Maybe get coup de grace kind of thing on the sleepers?
Tell you what, if you guys want the coup de grace the sleepers, I'll worry about the undead. Because the undead's not sleeping, are they? Do undead sleep?
Somebody are mulling around.
They're not asleep. They're not asleep, but they are, just kind of chilling there, not really looking at the door.
Yeah, the sleepers aren't going to wake. I mean, it's silent in there at this point, so unless something falls on them, they're not gonna.
Like a
The
ghoul.
sleepers, should probably not wake up, but who knows?
Right.
Yeah, I just say, bell right in there, start hacking up. I mean, our spellcasters can cast outside the silence.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I
Hammer
really
time.
don't want to pop a. Yeah. I don't want to pop a spell this early in the game, but
Yeah, I mean, just like cantrip, force blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So
That's the plan.
everybody give me initiative.
Do, 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 do. Oops, I gotta click on myself. Pink.
That's all 5 of you. Start by descending. Jin, your action was to cast silence.
Great.
Anything else you want to do, like movement, positioning wise?
Nope.
All right, Azure.
And I'm gonna smack him.
Okay.
Ignore the throw when it pops up.
Let's see.
18.
That does hit.
18 damage.
And 18. All right. Anything else, Azure?
That's it.
Okay. That brings us to Webley.
You're joking. You're actually joking.
No.
I know
Okay.
Webley's a joke and all, but it's not that bad.
Okay, we're gonna, against my better judgment, we are going to, yeah. You know that spell I cast, Eldritch Blast, on, actually, yeah, that guy.
Okay. Guess
Yeah.
number 3.
All right.
Yep. All right.
All right. That is a hit. That's a hit. And that's a hit. All right. So total of 13 plus 14, that's 27. Okay. Anything else, Webley?
Not right now, no.
I've never seen silence used to create silence so that nobody wakes up during a combat.
Yeah, it's kind of clever.
I mean,
I like it. There's a lot of tension in this scene. It's great. Hammerbill.
Oh, just going in and go after this one. Raging.
Alrighty.
all right.
Okay. Let's see. X.
That's a hit.
Why is my rage not going with it? Ah, sorry about that.
All right. 18.
Okay. Each.
What? What?
Dang it.
There
You rolled the only number. You rolled the only number you could roll in order to miss the guest.
Nice.
Gosh, I thought they were
Part of me
girls.
wants to
Uh-oh.
see her like hammer her toe and jump up and down, completely quiet, holding her foot. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
This. Wow. So on the first one, let me go ahead and add the 18 or subtract the 18 from this guy. On the second one, you bring that great hammer around and you knock over the brazier. And let me.
and it just spells the silence. Then
Silent
it
and
comes back.
dark.
You knock over the brazier, and it gets rid of it as a light source. And I'm going to roll. Let's see. I'm going to roll a perception check to see if any of these guys like wake up. Oh my god.
No.
None of
Look
them
at
wake
that.
up. Even though you've canceled the light source, changing something in the room, it's going to make it a high DC, but I figured at least one of them would wake up. So this somehow has not turned into a bad thing. And Jin is actually happier probably.
Yeah. Great.
And if it weren't for the fact that silence were cast in the room, you would have heard this loud clanging as the brazier landed on the ground. Yeah, so that's your turn. Fairvex.
Okay. I'm going to. This one's still asleep, right?
Yes.
All right. Probably should take out these things that are still awake. All right. I'll just blast at this one.
Which one? Oh, gas 4. Yep. Go ahead. That's a hit. That's another hit. And he did.
Oh, and there should be addition. Get down, Lewis.
There's additional damage.
What did you?
I didn't catch the last part, Thor.
I've got to re-add the agonizing blast.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's dead regardless.
For next time.
And anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'm not
That's it
hearing
for now.
Okay. Jin.
Are these guys obviously aware of us now? Are they in turn order?
Oh, right. Yes. Good call. Let's go ahead and all right. So it's actually gas number 3's turn. And he is going to run and attack Azure. Yep. That's the thing that he did. Gas number 1 is going to come around and attack Hammerbell.
Oi.
So Hammerbell, you take 19 slashing damage.
Okay, so 9.
9.
And give me a Constitution saving throw.
I don't think you can fail that, can you? No.
Oh, please don't say that.
If you
Oh
roll
yeah,
it-
we established that last time that you literally can't fail that. Jin.
Yeah, I'll port over to here and Do I have anything that goes stabby? I don't think so. Oh, I do have a dagger. Well, I don't know how do you want to play this? I mean, you just want me to attack since the first one was like auto crit hit or what? The
Oh,
sleeping
because he's sleeping.
thing. Yeah,
Why would you attack him while he's sleeping? That's so rude.
I know.
Is there a coup de grace option?
Um,
5e?
I think it would work out to be like if they're paralyzed in front of you. You know, any hit is a critical hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to say that because he's sleeping and he's prone, which normally gives you advantage on melee attacks, anyways, and all the things like you have all the time in the world to prepare just the best attack. So yeah, we'll say it's a crit with max damage.
All right. So then I'll just whack him with an unarmed strike for the first one.
So that is a hit.
So 6, so it'd be 12. My max damage on that is 12 and 4, 16 points.
Okay.
And now I take it he's awake.
Yeah, now he's awake and he's just, he's kind of doing that whole thing where you poke somebody in the face and they wake up and they're just, oh God, like arms flailing in front of them.
Okay, so I'm going on the assumption he can't see me or he's still prone, so I'll swing an advantage.
Yep.
8 more.
Okay.
And he's in silence, so I feel pretty comfortable. I'm good.
All right.
That's all I can do.
Damn you. Azure?
I'm gonna go ahead and swing at the one that swung at me.
Swing away. That's a hit.
Ignore throne.
Yep.
14.
He did.
And go ahead and step up again. And that's my turn.
All right. Guest number 2 is going to attack Azure because he's so smart. Guest number 5 is going to attack Hammerbell. Webley.
Going to position himself a little better. And is going to, okay, I'm sorry. Belle hasn't attacked either one of these guys. No, she attacked him, didn't she?
Yeah, this one
Okay.
has taken damage.
Okay, it hopefully will take a bit more. We're going to start Eldritch Blast on that guy. That miss?
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Yeah.
You realize
that-
what that means? That's twice he's got a crit miss against him.
That misses, and the Eldritch Blast. He's just trying his hardest to attack Bell, and at the last minute, his head ducks, and the Eldritch Blast flies against the wall and hits this priest here. So she takes, or he or she takes 6 damage and wakes up.
Well, in that case, we're going to nail them 2 more times, hopefully. That works? 22.
That
Is there
would-
just...
Yeah, that one definitely hits.
Okay. Well, they're just waking up right now anyway, so...
Yep.
Okay, what is that? 23 and 6, so 29 points?
Well, the first one hit the priest. The other 2 hit the
Oh,
guy.
no, that's what I was saying. I was switching targets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, we can keep it this way if you want, but when I see I hit the wrong guy, I guess I don't know. Your choice.
You switch targets to make it look like you intended it.
Yeah.
More like I just screwed up. Maybe I should go.
I meant to do that.
Yeah, well, take them out before they're a threat now.
All right. And so 6 and then 14 plus 9 is 23. Yep, she did.
Oh, bingo. I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Blaine said he was taking care of the undead anyway, so.
Right. Any bonus actions or movement?
Not at the moment. No, I'm feeling pretty confident with where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Hammerbell.
Yeah, we'll continue her attack on that one.
All right.
So this will be successful. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Hit.
that's
Okay.
he did.
Oh, he did. Switch to this one then.
All right. Yep, that's a hit. And
Alright.
that's a hit. So 20
20.
damage. Fairvex.
Okay. Let's see. Can't get any closer than this without getting into the silence. So move
Actually,
up to
right there, you are in the silence. You see
Okay.
the grid around
Yep.
it.
I see it. Yep. Okay. So I will move up to there, so I have a little bit more angle. And this one hasn't been attacked yet, has he?
He has taken no damage.
All right. Well, Azure was going to take care of him, but let's just take care of it.
That's a hit. That's a hit. So that's 30 damage. Okay.
Yes.
All right. He
You're
is
gonna wanna-
ragged, but still standing.
You're going to want to reshuffle turn order because you got a 19 down there.
Yeah. As soon as Fairvex is done, I'll reshuffle.
That's a little bit proud.
Anything else, Fairvex?
No, that's it for now.
All right. This necromancer is very alarmed. He looks around the room. He sees you guys just rushing in, killing all the guests and doing everything. And he is going to start pounding on this door.
Alrighty.
All right. And he's going to pound on the door. He's going to turn around and actually to create an extra thing in the turn order. He is going to cast Cloud Kill.
Does Cloud Kill poison damage? I'm sure it is.
Cloud Kill
Or is it acid damage?
Poison, I think.
is poison damage.
Cool.
All right, so it is a DC 15 con save, or you take 5d8 poison damage. So that is Fairfax, Webley, Bell, Azure, and basically everybody but Jen. So Azure, Hammer, Bell, Fairfax, Webley, give me a con save.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
You said you're immune to poison or something.
Not right now. Oh, everybody else makes it, huh? Let's see
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, the rest of us are, what's the word? Oh, yeah, competent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Webley, you take 21 poison damage. Everyone else takes 10.
What does poison resist do?
Take 5.
Oh, so you'll only take 5.
Yay.
All right, that's concentration spell, so that's okay.
Oh, I guess this ghast also needs to.
Yeah, kill the ghast.
Is he? Oh, he's immune to poison. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I totally did that on purpose.
How about the dudes that are? Did it catch this dude that's sleeping?
It did. Priest,
And the other two at the bottom of the.
con save.
And the other cat? Oh, they're immune.
And so it looks like this one has already taken damage. This one now needs to take full damage. And this one survives or saves. All right, so guest 1 attacking Hammerbill.
Yay.
3.
And when this one starts choking on the poisonous cloud, wakes up this one just by flailing around. Just so I could go ahead and add them all
What
into
the hell?
initiative.
Oh,
So at the end of this turn, they'll start.
No, better for it to be burned on initiative rolls.
All right, 7 slashing to you, Hammerbill. So I guess
Yeah.
only 3.
Mm.
Jin.
All right, I'll whack the guy who just cast a cloud kill. 8 points. That's a con save for his spell.
Let's see. Does he have anything for concentration?
It's only a DC 10.
So he does maintain concentration.
He takes 8 points. Here's a second hit. Takes another 8 points.
And is there? Oh, right, because he can't see you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he's going to make another con save.
And here's the.
you should have stunning strike.
Well, yeah, I'm going through key already.
Well, I thought you were going to use that for another attack. I wasn't sure.
Here's my bonus action. If he doesn't,
Oh.
if he doesn't fall on that, then yeah, I'll burn a key, and he can make another con save. So I guess first, if he's not fall, first con save is for his. All right, second con save is for the stunning strike, DC 15. Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So yes, he is stunned.
He is stunned. And obviously
Nice.
loses concentration. All right.
Sweet.
Anything else, Jin?
Nope. Yeah. Well, which way are the doors? Are the doors open in or out?
You
Can I tell?
think the door? I mean, it can open either way. You know, it
Oh.
like swings.
Swing
Either way.
door. Okay,
The
well,
hinge is to the hinge is to the right.
I mean,
like-
if I go up against it and try to put my body up against it, I'm not necessarily keeping anybody out, right? If it can be pulled in.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Trying to-
So you're trying to block the door from anybody coming in.
Yeah. But if it pulls in, then that's useless.
Right. Yeah. You believe that you're blocking the doorway.
All right, then I will push up against the doorway.
All right.
That's what
Smart
I got.
move. It is actually Azure. Speaking of which, it's your turn.
I'm actually just going to step up here and smack that one.
Okay. That's a hit.
That ghoul should probably get an attack of opportunity.
That's true.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
Thanks,
I don't,
Doc.
I don't think he can hit
Yeah.
Azure anyways, but
I don't want
You
to
want
see
to
the
give him
roll,
help?
damn
You
it.
want to give him two? We'll give him two.
all right, so Blessed Strike and Bludgeoning, that's 20. Boom. Anything else, Azure?
Currently, that is it. Actually, can I step one more forward? That
Sure.
way, if this guy gets up, he won't be able to get to a non-silence area as easily.
Nice. Oh, I skipped over Gas 2. Gas 2 is going to rush over and attack Hammerbell. Claws. Miss. Webley.
Okay, I can kind of see a cleric down here.
Yep.
All right. If I've got line of, and I do, we're going to Eldritch Blast him. That hit?
That does hit,
Cool.
and that kills it.
Excellent. So that's two. We're going to pull. Did the first one kill it or the second one?
The first one.
The first one? Okay. I would have aimed the second one probably here. With a 19.
And now it's gone.
Oh, wow. All right. Third one going there then.
All right. This one, the third one slams that ghast in the chest, and he, looks really bad, but no, he's an undead idiot. He just keeps thrashing at Hammerbell. Anything else you'd like to do?
Have a beer, but that ain't going to happen. So that's all I'm doing for the moment.
Hammerbell.
I will continue on this one.
All right. That is going to kill it.
Oh, which one? The first blow?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, and she moves forward and do the second blow on that one.
That's going to hit. And yeah, that third blow takes her out.
Yes. Wait, how much have she moved? Can't make it, but she'll move that way.
Yeah, you can get to like here, and then next turn you can get anywhere you want.
Mhm.
All right, Fairvex. Fire away.
Okay.
That's a hit. That's a hit. And that's a hit. In total, that's 30. That's 40. Yes, she did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going into the silence.
And I think the party's okay with that. Okay. Necromancer
Stunned.
is stunned. I'm shaking my fists like a cartoon villain at you, Jim.
Great.
There were some really cool spells. Remember when I said this was difficult? You ruined it. You ruined it. You and your silence and your little dog too. Go ahead.
There's the first one.
Yep.
There's the second one. Wow, 13.
That 13 does hit.
Wow. All right, 6
He has
more.
not had the chance to cast his mage armor yet.
And
So
then another 10. So,
that third strike, for all the magic in the world, and you just punch this guy into unconsciousness. His intellect did not give him saving throws against punches.
I immediately motioned everybody, since I'm going to keep silence up, but I immediately motioned everybody that, like, to this door frantically and, like, to the fallen corpse, so in case they did not see that he, was pounding on that door. And then I'm going to move back
I'll go ahead
and
and
look at
step up and
the
nod.
door.
Yeah. I ready in action.
All right. So Azure, you're going to move up and ready in action. That's your turn.
Yep.
If somebody comes, so he's going to whack it.
Yep.
Webley?
Yeah, pulling the scimitar of speediness. Right about there, I think. Actually, I guess Hammerbell can move in between us. And that's it. Waiting for
All right.
somebody to come in.
Hammer Bell.
I'll get. I guess.
Unfortunately, a rage is going to drop, but
Yeah.
Try hitting me. I don't give a shit.
Look
You
at
hit the cleric? Well, yeah, and again, he said try hitting me.
try it.
Elbow
Try to
the
hit
cleric. How about that?
Try to.
Try to
You're
elbow
good.
the cleric.
You still have to beat his AC.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You can try whacking him if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah, try to spike him.
I'm going to give you a dirty look.
Ah,
All right.
There you go.
you broke a spike.
I tussle her hair. Good job. Good one. Nice try, little one.
Uh-huh.
As she feels the rage just subside from her battle lust, and you tussle her hair, it's just you feel like you're a 12-year-old dwarf all over again.
That should actually get some madder though.
Yeah, you're ready to rage again. You've rarely ever been more ready to rage again. Fairbex, what are you doing?
Now I guess I need to get into the room, so I think this corner's safe.
Okay, and that corner is just out of silence, and you are, you're chilling there. You can hear things. You don't hear anything at this door, though. Just in case you're wondering,
No.
there's nothing on the other side of that door that you can hear.
Good to know.
Anything else?
It's ready.
If you're trying, Are you actually changing it yourself, or do you actually put the +1 into the initiative tracker to change it?
I'm changing it myself.
You can actually put a +1. It'll actually automatically do that for you.
Yeah, I
If
should have
it's-
done that.
When you're actually adding the turn, or whatever it is, yeah. You're good.
All right. So
Yeah, I just basically I'll ready an action to blast anything that comes through the door that is one of the Merkelites.
Fuck it.
okay.
Belly, ready to go through? We didn't hear anything.
Give us a high sign. Thumbs up.
All right. So if nothing happens this round, is everyone just going to be where they are?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm going to give it a good minute
Yeah.
because I got 10 minutes of silence, and I'd much rather have a bunch of clerics come rushing into a room full of silence.
Right.
Yeah. I already lost rage anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody agrees to just kind of hold on for 6 more seconds of tension.
Yeah. Everybody's
Weapon
kind of
ready.
shaking.
I'll whack whatever stick the heads in.
Yo.
Okay. So unbeknownst to the heroes of Leyland, on the other side of that door, there were a bunch of cult fanatics praying to Mirkul to send them something to help them survive this obviously deadly encounter with those dastardly do-gooders.
Sure.
Obviously,
And-
because they knew by a guy pounding on the door that we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was obvious to them, and so Mirkul responded in kind.
Oh. Yeah.
Cool.
And so from the door, let me move this thing. Boop. From the door bursts a bone devil.
Whack.
And of
Yep.
course, everybody fires off their thing. So
Sure.
go ahead and do that. Let's actually call this like a surprise
Oh
round.
my god.
Yeah, none of that counted. We're just gonna do like a surprise round where you all have a round to
I know,
do stuff to the Bone Devil.
But
Okay.
16 hit.
So the Bone Devil's gonna rush through the door and slash at the closest thing, the first thing that it sees, which is Hammerbell. But he will do that after everybody else does their thing. So Jin, what are you doing?
Chilling. Jin,
Okay.
Jin does not want to drop silence and doesn't want to get hit by a bone devil, so she's good.
Not the Bone Devil can see you.
Yeah, that's true. The bone devil probably can't see me. All right, Jin runs up,
I probably should fix up my eye.
whacks the bone devil, and there's one.
That's a hit.
There's two.
That's a hit.
And there's three.
That's a hit.
And
All right.
Yeah.
That
She
is
runs-
15,
she
22.
runs back.
I need to get a
Your fists act like magic now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I get that like 6th level or something.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, those are magic attacks.
Okay. All right. Azure, what are you doing?
Booming Blade. That rolled at 16 to hit. Oh, I didn't roll anything to hit. What the fuck? Why didn't it?
I think you're in silence.
So look at this minus.
Well, it's vocal and material, or no, some somatic material only. And
Oh.
the Bone Devil is not in silence.
Right.
And why didn't it not?
Yeah.
roll my attack?
So any roll rolled previously to Jin attacking didn't count anyways.
I'm
so
trying to
you
figure
did-
out why it's attack. Oh, one sec.
Because it's
But
still a
booming-
normal attack with your hammer.
Yeah, and then add
But
the extra
then-
damage to it.
Yeah.
Booming Blade's vocal.
I just looked it up. It is
SM.
no, that's material and somatic, not vocal.
Oh,
You
but
say the damage is thunder.
in
Yeah.
the V, my components show VM in the actual. I don't know
No.
what you guys are looking up.
I'm looking at Booming Blade right here from the DM that just puts in chat. Booming Blade, somat S and M doesn't have V there.
Oh, I'm looking at it when I look up the I and I look up Booming Blade and click it.
Oh,
That's interesting.
according to D&D Beyond, it's only S&M.
Yeah.
And I did paste it in the chat as well.
Oh,
And it
okay.
says S&M there.
There we go. There we go. Now,
And I gotta redo my Booming Blade macro.
No, I just got no. Oh.
All right.
But yeah,
so,
we'll do a hammer for now, and I'll roll the damage essentially.
All right. So you did 22 thunder damage for Booming Blade.
If it hit, 27 to hit essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
27 does hit.
So 22 thunder, 3 radiant, and then for my hammer itself, ignore the radiant here to see the bludgeoning of 14.
You know, I've been meaning to bring this up. So the description of the spell states that on a hit, the target suffers your normal attack damage.
Yeah.
And if the target willingly moves 5 feet or more, it takes the thunder damage.
Look at higher
So if he-
levels.
Yeah, the damage goes up from the initial attack too.
5 and 11.
All right, so that's 2d8. So you gave me 3d8 plus 3.
That's what Booming Blade gave me. I'm looking to see what's going on with the macro messed up. So give me a second to go through and fix that. Sorry.
All right. So for now, just give me 2d8, and it'll tell me
That
what
works.
it actually.
Yeah, sorry about
Does
that.
for
I'm
now.
not even sure why the thing's messed up.
Well, and you get your weapon damage as well, correct?
Yeah.
So 14 plus 1 radiant, so 15 plus 4 is 19. So minus 19. And if he moves more than 5 feet, then he'll take the 22.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right. Anything else? Well, you're just readying an action, so
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
just
take like a bonus action or anything.
Correct.
Webley.
You know, that was so much fun. I'm gonna take 5 foot step.
That's not a thing in 5e.
I'm gonna step 5 feet.
Sure.
That is a thing in 5e.
And I'm gonna miss. Oh wait, that's the damage. How do you? Okay, I need to do my.
Yeah. You have to do like a normal rapier attack or scimitar
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, and that
So-
missed actually.
So that misses.
Yeah. And when I miss, I'm gonna step back. And that's it. My booming blade blew it.
All right, Hammerbill.
Bell
What
or-
action did you ready?
Oh, the axe. But can she rage?
So you readied an action. This does
Yes,
not
she's-
include a bonus action. So it's going to be an unraged.
Okay,
An
axe.
unraged axe, basically. We don't do a lot of these.
Special occasion.
Usually it's you guys busting through the door.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if there's no bonus action, you can give the guy back 7 points because I hit him with my bonus action.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Fairvex, what action did you ready?
I readied Eldritch Blast.
And fire away. That hits. That does not. That hits. So 22. So as this bone devil bursts into the room, you guys all just let loose with your respective attacks, and the cleric and the barbarian are just swiping away at it. with the scimitar of speed, the warlock, jumps in, slashes, and then backs away. The monk, unseen to the bone devil, gets in a few hits, and this eldritch blast volley comes in and hits it.
Oh, dang.
And so now the bone devil itself is going to attack.
Oh, wait. What about my statement?
Going to attack. Hammerbell is right in front of the door.
Yeah.
So first, just comes in, stinger out. Yeah, this thing has a stinger.
Each.
That tail actually extends to like a bony scorpion tail, and boom. So 7 piercing and 13 poison, which you are not raging right now, Hammerbell. So
But the
you take
poison
all
is
of that. Oh yeah. You have to poison.
7 plus. Oh, fuck. 6.
Yeah. And then here come the claws. Claw. Does 17 hit you?
Yes.
So you take an additional 8 slashing.
The con save.
Can't save.
Not a con save for the.
For the stinger.
For the poison? Really?
Well, it
Oh,
says
right,
there,
right. Yeah, for the stinger.
charges,
For the stinger, yeah. I was thinking of something else with that slashing. So you do make that con save.
Cool.
And yeah.
Ouch.
So now, Jin, it's your turn proper.
And I guess I see what I see
Oh.
behind.
And also, hold on.
Sure.
Forgot to add these guys.
Stop. Stop. Oh, I tried answering.
Get rid of that. Just go with this. Okay.
So I guess
So-
I see what I see, which is nothing in the room behind the bone devil. Just a
Yeah.
thing on the floor, right? So I don't see any people in there.
Yeah, they had to step aside so the bone devil could charge through the door.
Okay.
Cult Fanatic 4 is going to step out. And he is going to. He is going to cast Hold Person on Hammerbell. Hammerbell, make a wisdom saving throw.
Ew. Oh,
Wow. All right. He was unsuccessful. That was a gamble. The house won. Or the house lost, depending on how you look at it. Jin, it's your turn.
Is it dark in there?
It is. It's very
Okay.
dark.
How far was that? Sorry. Zoom out. Pink. Okay. I'm gonna port to there. Oh goodness. And
Drop a grenade.
and drop a grenade. We do have grenades, but what do those grenades do again?
Damage.
Well, I know, but they do like
I have
massive damage.
Yeah, and
they
have
do. They do a
range.
lot of damage.
Where's our handout? Play your handout. Cool, White Dragon, blah, blah, blah.
Divine
Okay.
Contention Adventure 3 section. Down right above the basic rules.
Magic items. No, okay. Who has these grenades?
You do.
Did I have one of them?
Yeah, one each.
Jim,
Yeah.
read all of the grenade stuff before you do anything.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I know. So
Okay.
One to one or 3 times.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hold off on grenading. Okay, so let's just. I got some key left. Why not? I'll hit this dude. 14.
A 14 does hit.
He can make a con save.
Which one? Which one are you taking?
This dude.
Oh, this one up here. Okay.
Yeah.
He is going to make a con save. He's going to con save the shit out of this.
DC 15. He's stunned.
That's hilarious.
I'll hit this dude right below him.
Yeah. You punch this guy, like, flat palm this dude straight in the nose, and he stands there, and he's unconscious. You know he is. You know your stunning strike worked, but he managed to balance himself perfectly beforehand, and it's a good 4 seconds before he actually falls over.
Great. Yeah, this guy south of him for 7 points, and he can make a roll.
I'm going to get my quest.
Cool. All right, that's what I got.
Use the wrong in there. All right, so they're both stunned.
Yep. And the one guy took 10, the other guy took 7.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh,
All right, Azure.
yes.
Okay. Another booming blade. Let's see if I got the thing set up correctly this time around.
Fire away.
18
All
to
right,
hit.
that does not hit.
Wow.
I'm going to drop concentration on the silence too, by the way. Sorry. That's a non-action. I want to free up our spellcasters.
All right.
And then that's actually all I'm going to do.
All right. Cult Fanatic 1 is knocked out. Cult Fanatic 2. He is going to cast a hold person on Hammerbell.
Again.
DC 11, you got this. Come on.
Wisdom saving throw, Hammerbell.
I mean, that didn't seem like much, but that Bone Devil's critting on every hit, so.
Oh, all right.
All
Do I
right.
have to
So
actually
you
see the spellcaster to counterspell?
It's the thing is you have to be aware of it, I think is what it says. So I don't know if
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
All right. So we look at conditions.
You attempt to interrupt a creature processing a cast spell.
Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit. You're right,
so
Joe.
what you take when you see a creature within 60 feet of you casting a spell.
You do
Right.
have to have line of sight. Okay.
Which I do. Crap. Yeah, I am.
You're gonna do it.
I gotta.
All right. Go ahead and
Wait, which guy cast a spell?
That was Cult Fanatic 2. This guy up here.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you're going to counterspell it as your reaction.
I am.
Very well. Use them warlock slots.
Yep. We're gonna take a
Alright.
nice short rest after this, guys.
Hope Fanatic 3. He's gonna step out and
Cast hold person on.
he's gonna cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level on Hammerbell.
Actually, isn't
Touch.
that
Touch.
It's a touch.
unless he's got
Yeah.
ranged spell?
Is it?
Yeah, it says touch. Yeah.
Oh darn! All
He can
right.
touch himself for all I care.
Then he's gonna cast Hold Person on Hammerbell.
God damn it!
Come on,
Hammerbell.
Hammerbell, you got this.
Give us a wisdom save.
Come on. There you go.
Hey. And Cope Fanatic 5 gonna step out. And he's gonna cast Hold Person.
You got it, Hammerbell.
He's like, damn these dwarves. I didn't realize they were so wise.
Oh.
Hey.
All right, Hammerbell, you are paralyzed. And I'm gonna put
get
this
to make
guy.
You get to make it the end of your turn before you get attacked again, so that's good. So you get another shot at making it.
At the end of each of its turns. Oh, right. Before she gets attacked again. Yep,
Yeah.
that's true. Webley.
Probably wishes he had fireball right now. Hissing and moaning.
Somebody pitch a fireball in there. I don't care.
Yeah, no kidding. Or a grenade. Webley's gonna
50. Oh, that's just not
step
enough.
up, and he's going to, as his bonus action, he's going to Hexblade Curse the devil. And there you go for that. And then he's going to Scimitar Speed this prick. 23 hit.
23 does hit.
Excellent. And so that's
That's all,
plus
folks.
5. That's 14. That does not hit.
Nope, that's not hit.
That's another 16.
Okay, so 14 and 16 is 30. All right. Anything else?
No.
Hammerbell, give us that wisdom save.
You got this. You got this, Bell.
Oh no!
You had that, Bell.
Oh,
You're gonna have it now.
oh.
You're gonna get it.
Just get your revive fire ready.
They're stunned.
Toss it wall.
They're stunned for how long, Jen?
Till the
The
end
ones
of
that
till the end of my round.
Okay. All right. And that is not up yet. So Fairvex.
All right. I'm going to move to here. And well, Jin, you can probably avoid the fireball, right?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
Yeah, fire dex saves are good for me.
All right. I'll cast fireball. Drop it in this room, probably right about here. Can I get a template?
You'll get it. You'll get everybody.
And hold person's concentration, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nice.
you don't need a template. It gets everybody.
Yeah.
Pick it
Yeah,
up.
there's your tablet.
Yep, that'll work.
Everybody,
Including
Okay.
the devil.
including Blood Neville. Yes.
All
All right, Jen, I'm going to move you out of the way for just a moment.
You can include me in the roll. I don't care.
I wonder. That's a good question. Will it
Yeah,
actually?
it will.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So,
Those are basically
group check. Give me that fireball.
that people
That's
like.
a
But the
dex
second is
save.
that you can
DC 18.
DC 18. Damage is 26.
like max out everything. And you just sort of think,
And damage on save is half, right?
Yes.
Jin crit. Jin crits on the save. Jin, you're gonna take like no damage.
I took no damage anyway if I save. Yeah.
Oh, you
yeah.
got that evasion thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Improved evasion, is it?
It's just a
basically,
darn it, my
going on.
thing is it's a take no damage on. I gotta pull my character sheet back up.
All right. So
yeah,
it
trust
did.
me, it's a 0 damage.
It subtracted 13 hit points from you, Jim.
Oh, okay,
So
I'll
go
get
ahead,
myself
go ahead and
back.
boost yourself back up.
Sure. Yeah, there's evasion. Pink.
Oh, and this guy needs to make a con save to maintain. Because hold person is a con save, right? Yes.
Oh, also did they already die? I was gonna say the stun guys auto fail that deck save. I think stun is
Nice.
or get disadvantage.
No.
You can't. Yeah.
So he failed his con save, and Hammerbell, you're no longer stunned.
Hold
Nice.
it.
Anything else for your Vex?
Uh, okay.
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Just in time.
Yeah, seriously. So this Bone Devil, he sees Hammerbell like, come out of her paralysis and come back to life. And you hear him, Hammerbell, what languages do you know?
Oh, let's see. What did you give me? Languages. And the common dwarvish? Common.
Okay. You don't understand what the Bone Devil says, but you understand the context of it, which is like, he's cursing it.
I do speak Abyssal, and Infernal.
Does anybody speak Infernal?
I do.
All right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you understand Infernal, you hear the Bone Devil say, tricksy dwarf, and just throw out some very very common obscenities as he he knows his time's up. He got summoned here, he got sent here to save these folks. He could not, so he's going to just do as much damage as he can as he turns towards Webley and stings, and then claws very poorly. So Webley, you take 14 piercing and 16 poison.
Okay, actually, I'd like to roll a d6 and see if that actually works.
Huh?
Oh, what?
He misses. Hexblade's Curse, Hexblade Armor, 1, 2, or 3. The attack misses. Remember, it's my reaction.
Oh.
Yeah. Fight me, fanboy.
Okay, so the sting hits you, but then does nothing, and then out of frustration he just claws at you, just infuriated, and with your scimitar of speed you're able to just deflect his claws both times. You even chip one of his fingernails off, and he's just And now it's Cult Fanatic 4's turn. And he's going to cast Hold Person on Bell. No, I'm just kidding. Well, shit, what can they do? Do they have Guiding Bolt? Or something other than... They have Inflict Wounds.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Sacred Flame
They have Sacred
He's-
Flame.
He's gonna stand over here and cast Sacred Flame at Azure.
Okay. What save is that?
Sweet.
Yeah, give me that deck save,
Dex
Azure.
save. Okay.
Yeah, you take 5 radiant. You jerk.
I'm resistant.
You take 2 radiant. You jerk. That's cult fanatic 4 talking, not the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DM finally got to do damage to Azure.
2 whole damage. Woo! Jin, what do you do?
I'll whack the guy south of me.
All right, that's a hit, and he's dead.
Oh, okay. Then the second one is the dude over here.
Ooh, all right.
So
He's
11
not
damage.
dead, but he is pretty unhappy.
The third one, then for him, another 5.
All right. This guy is really confused because he can't see you. He's just, imagine somebody just standing on the street getting punched by the invisible man. And he's
Yeah.
just, oh God, what's even happening?
He's still standing though.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
The thing is,
I'm going to move.
it's
I'm going to
stop.
sort of move back out of immediate
Go
range.
somewhere else.
All right. Azure?
Booming Blade.
Booming Blade. Go ahead.
Loading up
What do we
the
got?
sheet. I'm waiting for it to load up. Fuck it, we'll do this for now. Add 13 to it. Does it hit?
I guess.
There we go. Finally loaded up. Okay. I'm just going to hit this and do damage from here then.
Okay. That's actually plus 13 of your original roll.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. So that's 20.
$29.
Bone Devil. The Bone Devil, he's a, what is he? He's a fiend. And here you are doing radiant damage with the light of Moradin and all that stuff. How do you want to do this?
Nice.
I just want him to explode and just light, if possible.
Yeah. You hit him with the hammer. You swing this uppercut, and you hit him like directly in his like bony ribcage chest thing that protects his undead fiendish heart or whatever. And it causes a small crack, and out of that crack shoots radiant light, and then there's another crack and it shoots radiant light. And then he goes to like say something in infernal at you. He goes to curse at you, but when he opens his mouth, it shoots out radiant light, and then eventually there's just so much radiant light shooting out of him that all of his bones explode, and he is dead.
Can we go with Inferno? Morden sends his regards. Just an Inferno, because why not? Well, make sure he understands it. Make sure you understand it.
Yeah.
The bone shards explode and impale Webley in the jugular. Is that?
Okay, fine, Emma. You're lucky we're recording this.
I have not
Yeah.
safe for work. Check, we're good.
Webley, make a deck save. No, I'm just kidding. Anything else, Azure?
I'm going to go ahead and step in and see what the fuck is going on in here, because I have no idea what's going on in here.
Language.
No, I have a not safe for work checked. We're good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
he just say language?
Yeah.
I'm going to step up and stand right here. This big old grin on my
All
face
right.
as a big old grin on my face as I walk in. What's up?
All right. Cult Fanatic 2 is going to step over here. He saw his buddy got punched by the darkness a couple of times, so he's going to come over here and try to attack the darkness. And as we all know, attacking the darkness does nothing.
Sure.
Yeah. Cult Fanatic 5 is very concerned about the cleric of Moradin that just stepped in front of him. And finally, he's going to cast Inflict Wounds and miss. Webley.
Webley is going to take a step in. Actually, to about there, probably. And we're going to go off of that guy. So we're going to scimitar speed him, and this time I will get a sneak attack for the first attack. I'm guessing that hit.
Yeah, it hits in a big way.
Awesome. Okay, I got 2 more attacks. That looks like a hit.
Yep, that hits.
And that.
And that. You've cut this guy twice. You just ran in, and you saw him just flailing around at the darkness.
Right. Oh, he's in darkness. That should all been with advantage. Crap.
Oh no. It wouldn't. He could see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just low light.
You could tell he has dark vision. Like you could tell, like as you charged into the room, and he sees you at his peripheral. He was there, making the "no, wait" kind of face while you slash him up. So you could tell that he can see in the dark, but and you can also tell because you have Devil's Sight. You could tell that he only has dark vision due to a ritual spell. And
good to know.
And so you come in there, and he kind of throws his arms up, and he gets like these 2 very grievous defensive wounds. One across the bottom of his forearm, and the other just kind of slicing up in his belly. And he is almost dead. He is just on the cusp of death. Hammerbell.
I'm gonna step into the room. Just gonna beat this one up. If she can.
Oh, and she can.
Eek.
That is
What's
a hit.
wrong with it? Really?
That's a hit. Okay. That's a hit, and he's dead.
Okay.
I like how your disappointing hits kill my monsters. Like you're just like, oh no, that's terrible. Oh, but it still killed him. That's fine.
So, question: do we realize that this is a similar set to where we've already been to? Because isn't there like a secret room or secret door around here? Like, do we realize it or not?
Let's get to that in a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
Because, well, actually, let's get to it now. So, you guys do all recognize this place as the exact layout of the place that you went into when you went to the realm of the Ebondeath. It looked almost exactly like this. And remember how in the realm of the Ebondeath there were a bunch of cultists in this room that you couldn't touch? They were very incorporeal, and they were sitting around this skull, painted on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a secret door in there, and so you kind of know the layout to this place a little bit. I'll have you make survival checks to make anything specific out with advantage because you've been here before, kind of. But there's something else that happened when you were here that you may not remember, or you might. I'm going to leave it up to player knowledge. So, Hammerbell, anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, she's gonna move around and where's this guy? Where's my kid?
So you're gonna great hammer this guy. Yeah, he did. He only had 1 hit point. He's gone.
I'm gonna spike him anyway.
Yeah, just like his corpse, like on the way down, he hasn't even completely fallen yet. You just grab him and bring him in. You don't have enough wounds. Here.
Need more holes.
Well, we know there was the other big bone devil in that hallway.
We do.
Well, I mean, the last time we were here,
Oh.
there was a bone devil in that long hallway.
Yeah, there
Wow.
should be.
You remember
So-
that.
What's that?
You
No,
remember
there's a-
that.
There's a room
Yeah.
down there, and it all leads somewhere over here together. So there's no point. We're going deeper in. There's no way a dragon's going to fit in this fucking room down here. He's more than likely where he was last time, so I say we keep pushing forward.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of treasure on the floor last time too that we couldn't get.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when Jin was fighting the dragon.
Yeah, she tried to grab some and could not get any.
Yeah, probably will be something you can do this time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Ebondeath, wasn't there something else big that we were running from near the end?
Well, the one dude appeared or was just sitting there watching us as we ran out, but he was like in the
Kind of
he
ghost
was
like
like
guy.
in the
Here,
main
I
thing.
think. Yeah, he's like here in this room over here, I thought.
There's a door here, isn't it?
I think we
That is a
generally-
door. That is a
Yep.
door.
Okay.
I think we generally want to continue.
Hey, speaking of continue, do we need healing? Do we need how much of our resources did we just waste on that stone devil and the ghouls?
Let's see.
I mean, I'm good. I mean, I'm down like 7 key, but I've
Well,
got.
do we want to secure the door and rest?
And
I
I
say we keep pushing forward.
50 HP from that.
My concern is that
Could burn a hit
the-
dice or two.
DM's going to throw shit at us if we rest.
Yeah.
Well, my concern is are we going to have another opportunity to rest? I don't remember this well enough.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we can bar doors and stuff like that, but
I say we keep going.
Okay. So I was gonna say if we were going to rest, I could basically do prayer of healing for the entire party, and that's a decent amount of healing, and then get those spell slots back.
Yeah, I think only one that took any major damage was Hammer.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. We can try. I would hate for bone devils to be summoned in the middle
Yeah.
of the room.
They know we're here. They keep summoning, and they can prepare for
Yeah,
us.
that's true.
I don't want them to
Okay, yeah.
prepare for us.
We'll press forward, and then we'll figure out what we need to do if we need to.
So we're looking for secret doors along this wall.
Oh, right. Let me look at that here.
Doesn't Webley have like a 26 passive perception or something?
that's significant. Like a 19 or a 20. Where is passive perception? Oh, I forgot I took mobile. Ah,
What'd you pick? You picked it up last time?
yeah, when we leveled up most recently, yeah.
All right, everybody, give me a perception check.
Oh, sorry, 11.
Webley,
Is that it?
Webley, you notice, especially because you're the one closest to the door and have a direct line of sight. You notice that this door to the south of you, on the other side of the room, the main
Mhm.
foyer room, has
Right.
pushed open, and there is a small cadre of greater zombies that are rushing. They're kind of shambling,
Right.
towards you. Would you like to tell the rest of the party about it?
I think it'd be a fun surprise, but, I should probably let them know. Guys,
All
we
right.
we got zombies coming back the other way. I told you we shouldn't take a rest. Maybe we can bottleneck them here.
So you do also easily find the secret door.
Ooh.
It's
Which is-
it's literally right here. Would you have liked to have already opened it, or
Where, can you show me again where it was?
right there?
Oh, okay, just off my screen.
And you
All
said
right.
there were skeletons? Or did I miss something?
Zombies.
Zombies to the south.
Fuck it, I got that.
Remember the door you said you didn't need to go into?
Yeah, fuck it. I got
Those
that.
zombies were drawn by the noise. They were previously not drawn by noise because you were silenced, but after a certain number of turns, once noise did occur, they are now drawn.
Okay,
Can we
awesome.
block this door?
Don't need to. I got it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just let the cleric go down there.
So,
What's
how
it-
many do I see? I don't see
Uh,
any yet.
you don't see any?
No.
Down
Oh,
south?
let me-
Oh, I barely see them. They're pretty transparent.
Yeah. Guys, I have to AFK for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
You see 5 of them.
Raider? That kind of sucks. Okay.
That's pretty transparent.
Yeah.
Interesting. I can see them quite well.
I can't. They're like transparent. I can barely see them.
That's weird.
Wait, is
What's the
How about now?
Same.
mhm.
Can you reload the map?
I'm not worried. I can see them good enough.
Yeah.
all right? Cool. Are we initiating this?
Hold on. I wanna. Oh God, that's not good.
That didn't do it.
Was-
Mhm.
How about that? Is that good, Rain?
Good enough. I can see them good enough. I'm not worried about it.
All right, cool. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and order it up.
Did I not do my turn undead?
Oh, right. Turn undead. Wisdom saving throw. Turned. Okay, so group check. Wisdom. Actually, I can't do that because they have advantage.
Advantage. Interesting.
Graders. Advantage on saving throws against any effect that turns undead.
Cool. What's the
So,
challenge rating?
well-
Out of curiosity.
5.
Huh.
Wow.
So let's give them advantage. What's your DC on this?
What? Does it even say in this description? Is it my regular
check
spell, I
on-
guess?
Yeah, it's your normal spell stuff.
Oh,
Normal spell.
17.
Oh, all right. Okay. Jeez. None of them safe.
Can we just have
Okay.
him die and just move on? Just kind of curious.
Honestly, yes.
Power to Morden, like Morden's flowing through me. It's like a pretty powerful turn undead.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful turn undead. They die. However,
Okay.
Otherwise, they're just going to run back in the room. We can close the door.
Yeah. However,
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
interesting. Okay.
Wow.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
You guys see as Azure completely banishes these greater zombies. Moradin, and they just completely go, and all the zombies vanish, and then he turns around to the rest of the party and vanishes himself.
I get the banishment.
Yay. Oh, tank is gone.
Sweet. I will run in the room, and I do have
I need Webley and
that.
who else? Yeah, just Webley to roll initiative.
Rebley stepped away. You would roll for him.
Oh, right. Webley is going to roll.
Sorry, I guess I
initiative.
don't go before Fairfax anyway. So
All right. So Uleron Mortis steps out after you guys see Azure disappear, and you just stand him over there stunned, like, what the hell happened? And he steps out and is going to cast Flame Strike on the three of you.
sweet. Is that a deck save?
Yes, it is. I'm back, by the way.
It's a DC 15 dex save.
Great.
Of course.
Here we go.
All right, so you only take half, Webley, and Jin, you also only take half, or none.
Nothing.
None.
Oh, Hammerbell, you're not actually in the
Oh,
save. This is only a 10 foot, right?
oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, 10 foot radius. So
Mm.
you are in the save.
Ouch.
All right.
Takes too.
So if you failed to save, you take 25 between fire and necrotic. If you saved, you take 12, half of that and whatever, you know how to work your characters.
Oh, I'm resistant to fire, so I only take 3 fire damage.
All right. And so Uran Mortis laughs and he says, "You'll never defeat the Abaddon. Praise be to Merkul." Hammerbell, what will you do?
Where is he again?
He is right. He is right here.
Oh, here, let me help.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get mad just with me. I will rage and rush him. Oops. Start swinging.
Yeah, I think that hits. That one does not.
Oh, so 20.
However. Okay.
Oh. What is it?
That's his con save.
Oh.
Keeping banishment.
Ah.
All right. So that was your. Would you like to do anything else?
Nope.
Okay. And I've got too much stuff on the screen. Fairvex.
All right. Let's light him up with Eldritch Blast.
All right. Dang. Well, yeah, all those miss.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah. So Fairfax, you just blast away at this guy, and he just puffs out his chest. He says, "For Miracul." I almost said Moradin. That would have been bad. For Miracul, and all your Eldritch blasts just kind of divert off to the side. Jin.
Hold on. Spiritual weapon. Whack.
Oh, right.
For who?
Spiritual weapon. And he's going to make a con save. Succeeds.
All right.
He does take 12 force.
Lightning miracle.
Yeah, as he starts crying about Merkul, you know, the Radiant Mox shows up and goes, stab.
Mira cool. Oh, shh. The
All right. I'll
Ow.
just run up next to him. Here's normal strike. I don't know if he can see me or not, but do I have advantage on him?
He cannot see.
All right. So there's the first one for
Oof.
12 points.
Ouch.
Right.
Yeah, my massive 12 points of damage.
Hey.
The second one misses. Here's the bonus. So that one hits, I take, for 9 points.
Yep. That does
and
hit.
then here's my Dread Ambusher roll to hit.
Nice. 2 crits, buddy.
So, oh, and it didn't do the Dread Ambusher, so that's another. Wait. Yeah, it did not do that. So here's another D8.
Small spaces.
Great.
All right. So Azure reappears as he crit failed his con save.
Cool.
Jin just goes to whacking on his head, and he's just, ow, 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 stop it, shit, I lost it. And Azure reappears.
And I'm just continuing moving past just to get out of touch range or anything range.
Webley.
Lovely.
I got.
Hang on. Nobody's got to click the right thing, huh? Nobody's gonna move here. Scimitar speed the guy.
It's got about
14 hit.
That's a miss.
It's a miss. Okay, we're gonna go again. That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then the third one will not have sneak attack damage, so 10, 22, 33.
All right. 33
Yeah.
damage. Azure,
And
go ahead. Oh, there you go. You already did.
Hang on one
Can anyone
second.
name that game that Cloder's from?
What?
I was alone, and there was a light. My mom was there. And then it was like, yoink! Not yet, stupid!
No idea.
Nope.
No.
The first Neverwinter Nights. That was the halfling rogue when you resurrected him.
Nice. All right. Uleron Mortis. He already cast his Flame Strike. And he says, no, I won't accept it. You can't destroy the might of Mirkul. And you see all these like floating skulls start swarming around him as he casts Spirit Guardians.
Oh,
You've been waiting to do this, haven't you?
A little bit. Yep. Nobody's unaffected. Speed is halved. Okay. Oh, yep. All right. So it's just when you start your turn there.
Yep.
That's an action, right? Yeah, it is. So, yeah. He just kind of throws his hands up and he's just like, "You will not defeat the might of Mirkul." Hammerbell, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. So she takes 14.
21 radiant damage.
Eek.
So the DC for this save is 15, and if you fail it, you take 21 radiant damage because he cast it at 4th level. And now you can move on with your turn.
He's gonna whack him.
Okay.
Yeah,
See if we can hold the concentration now.
he's not going to be alive too much longer.
Ooh,
that's a
not
miss.
like that.
Oh
Oh
gosh.
no! So you go in, you miss with the axe, you go in with the hammer, and he actually grabs the great axe and shoves you to the ground. And so you do not get your customary bonus action.
Sweet.
Fairvex.
All right, let's try this. Try this again. Eldritch Blast.
All right. That's a hit. All right. Let's see if he makes it on those two. And that's 20 damage. He is you see the first Eldritch Blast hit him square in the chest, and his arms are still outstretched, and the second Eldritch Blast hits him in the face and takes off like whole chunks of flesh. And he's just got this like bleeding, you could see part of his facial skeleton underneath. And he's just sitting there, Miracle! Oh shit.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, he had 1 hit point.
Nicely done.
Yeah, Mox literally like comes and actually, you know what? How do you want to kill Uluran Mortis? He's been a thorn in your side for some time. How does Mox kill him?
Mox, because pseudo dragons have a stinger, stabs him squarely in the throat.
Yeah, like he's just like Miracle, and the stinger just comes out the front of his throat.
Yeah, it's just basically rather than being Merkul, it's like Merk.
Miracle.
You missed your chance.
Oh yeah, that could have worked too.
Yeah.
But we'll save it for another one.
Yeah, and he dies just still gargling, trying to say Miracle, and you see his eyes, the light fades from them, and he dies.
I do spit on him.
I do loot his body. Not kidding.
Actually, leave the room.
All right, so back here,
Yeah.
where Uluran came from, there's a light source in there because he was human, and there's 700 gold. What the hell is that? Is that even in the? Let's see.
All right, I'm
Divine
sticking it in
contention,
my bag
magic
of holding.
eyes.
Anyone to heal while we're doing this, or should I just take a potion?
Oh, Eyes of Minute Seeing.
And the following spell scrolls: Raise Dead,
Always good.
Forbiddance,
Uh-huh.
and
good.
Holy Aura.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Holy Aura is like a 9th level spell.
Does anybody want to actually use Raise Dead and raise this guy just so he can fight Ebondeath with us?
Holy Aura.
Just like the
Holy
ultimate fuck you.
crap! Holy Aura is an 8th level spell.
8th level spell, yeah.
So Raise Dead, Holy Aura, and Forbiddance, you said?
Yeah, Forbiddance
Yes.
is ridiculously good as well. As a matter of fact, it's a 10-minute cast spell, but it's
It's like a defensive spell, isn't it?
Well, yeah, except it's like 400 square feet or something like that. So
What's it called? Holy Aura?
powdered ruby worth 1,000 gold pieces. Anyway, we can't cast forbiddance, but it'd be cool if we could.
That's forbiddance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically make the place safe for however long it lasts.
Yeah, but everything gets 5d10 radiant damage just by stepping into it. And it lasts a day.
Well, no, but it's a chosen type of creature, so whether it's like a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
Yeah.
Undead. I've been
One
dead.
or more of the following.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, undead and fiends and yeah, anything.
Why can't we cast it?
We don't have $1,000 gold.
Well,
You
it's
don't
on a
need,
scroll,
you
so-
don't need that. It's a scroll. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's only 10 minutes. And it protects up to 40,000 square feet.
Really? Wow.
That'd be hilarious. You know, we sort of cast forbiddance on this entire place.
Fuck it, let's do it.
And go home.
Well, it's 200 by 200, right?
They can't use portals. They can't summon more creatures.
Yeah, the only thing about that is the question becomes, do you need light? I mean, you'd have to look up what you want to go with, but there's questions as, do you need line of sight?
I don't see why you would.
You know,
There's no
to
way you can
cover-
see
Yeah.
For the
40,000
cover.
square feet.
The answer's no. You do not need line of sight.
You just have to know how large an area you can affect.
So, yeah, because the idea is actually that you guys don't know this unless you want to make some rolls and stuff, but this particular place has been cast with forbiddance so that nobody can travel here by way of the astral plane, ethereal plane, any of those things, because the Ebondeth is not well loved by
Okay.
some extraplanar beings.
So we cannot cast forbiddance on a forbiddance area anyway. So,
Right.
all right. Anywho, Holy Aura is still awesome. Onward.
Holy Aura. Divine light washes out from you and coalesces and soft radius, 30-foot radius around you.
Yeah, it's basically everybody gets disadvantage to hit us and we get advantage on everything. And
Blinded until the spell ends. That's weird.
I like that one. Can I have that one? I'm gonna be standing in the middle of everything anyway.
it'll affect everybody that if you cast it, it affects all of us.
Oh my bad.
Yeah.
How long is what's
So-
the casting time on it?
It's just a instantaneous concentration up for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, the only gotcha about you still, even if you cast a spell from a scroll, you still have to concentrate for it if it requires it.
Yeah.
They played a
That's
decent-
fine.
not like 5 o'clock.
All right.
Cool.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Onward.
I honestly think that, a rest might be in order. Because I think this area is secure at this point.
You want to try a short rest in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to.
All right.
All right. You guys successfully do a short rest.
Okay. So at the start of the rest, I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing twice, which will take 20 minutes to do because it's 10 minutes for each casting. But it is going to be at 4th level. So 48 plus 5. So 21, and then another 14.
Is anybody damaged that much?
Nope.
20. I need more, double that.
Oh, ow.
Well, you can burn hit dice at a short
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
Uh, wish there was another mechanic for hit dice besides just healing. You know, give yourself some inspirational bonus, something. There's something else to do with it besides healing.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings me up to max.
Okay.
Geez, for once I didn't take any damage. I wasn't knocked unconscious.
Yeah, okay, everything. Have I done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Are we continuing on?
Yes.
I believe so.
Unless we want to take the 5-minute break since we're about halfway.
Yeah, that's up to you guys.
Why don't we do that if you guys don't mind?
Okay, sure.
All right, 5-minute break. You want some music there, Azure?
Please.
All right, let's go with something that's not going to get you demonetized.
Please.
9 Inch Nails. You want to what like an animal?
All right, 5 minutes, guys.
All right, thanks. See you in a bit.
Back. There we go.
All right. I'm back. All right.
Welcome back.
I'm back. All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
Is anybody not back? Sound off.
Haha. Hey, it was made known to me that I screwed up the hex blade armor thing. It's actually supposed to be on a roll of 4, 5, or 6. It misses, not 1, 2, 3. We can do it however we want. If you want me to keep it 1, 2, 3 for the day, that's fine. I screwed up and I apologize. I should have taken that damage.
How much damage was it?
17 points, something like that.
And you would have healed it, so.
Yeah, I mean, you would have healed it during the short rest, right?
Oh yeah, it was not. I wasn't particularly hurt beforehand, but I did screw it up, and I wanted to.
All right. Well, as long as you're accounting for it during the short rest, no harm, no foul.
Okay. I will burn another couple of hit dice. Good enough.
All right. So I think I heard everybody except for Hammerbell. Oh, there she is.
Right on time.
You're probably eating like normal.
On mute. All right. What do you guys do?
Before we start heading to the secret door here, I'm popping up another pass out trace. We'll try to be stealthy as we move along.
I walk.
Okay.
I'll say far back, but I need to be in the front, but fuck. Let's go.
Where'd you go?
Everybody's
There we go.
we're in the secret door thing. Everybody's
Yep.
within whatever that radius is. I forget.
20, I think.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right.
30.
Oh,
Right before we get into any combat, I'm gonna cast Beacon of Hope while everybody's still grouped together.
Good.
What
It
does
only
it do
lasts-
again?
It only lasts for a minute, but let me send it.
I,
So advantage to Wisdom and Death saving throws and max heal for the duration.
Excellent.
And it's basically I just have to
be constant.
start it with you when you're within that 30-foot range, and then you can basically go wherever, and it'll still be in effect.
All right, it's a big door here.
Want me to listen to it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Nobody say, what's his name?
This door is more of a normal door. It doesn't ask you any questions or anything, and you do not hear anything beyond the door.
Gonna check for traps, though.
Yep, there are no traps that you could see.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Sure.
Always.
Sword drawn, slowly opening the door and pushing Jin in to sneak in.
Actually,
Sweet. Who's
Yeah.
walking in the hallway?
Give me a stealth roll or a body.
Don't wanna.
Plus 10. Everybody adds plus 10. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Stealth.
Nice.
Does 44? Is that stealthy?
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
I didn't fuck up.
So our minimum is
now is that with your plus 10 for the boots?
I don't get plus 10 for the boots. I just get no disadvantage.
Oh, that's right. It just negates the. Right.
So yeah, our Fairfaxes are loud when at 20.
Yep. And just to give you guys a peek behind the curtain, I rolled an 18 as a
Ooh.
perception check on this creature, slowly making his way down the hallway.
He's not good.
These hallways are haunted by the grotesque visage of a very, very ancient high priest. And you notice that he has various trappings and clothing that is it's torn, it's older, but it mimics the clothing of Uleron Mortis, indicating to you that this might be the undead remnant of some high priest, like maybe even the first high priest of the Ebon-Death.
Cool.
And he's just casually walking down. You guys are going to get some advantage, but eventually he is going to see you if he continues on his path. So
yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to have him we're going to freeze time here and let you guys figure out what you want to do.
Bush.
Yeah. I mean, I'm back on my key. I'll pop a silence. And I don't care what everybody else does.
As soon as he gets in the silence, he's probably going to notice it.
I'm going to drop it on top of him.
Okay.
So he can't run. So he doesn't really know which way to go. So.
Right.
You see that his hands are clasped, and he's just walking. He looks very peaceful. He looks like he's meditating almost while he's walking.
I'm sure he's a nice guy down here. Yeah. So I signal. I'm going. The big shh. I'm and then draw a circle and point to him, and drop off the silence.
Okay.
Kills a pass
Yeah.
trace, but
I'm
You guys can see
watching.
the silence, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, if it's going to be right where he's at. So yeah.
All right. So you pop off a silence, and he immediately notices. And before you move, Webley, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Think.
Oh, come on.
Damn, everybody with their
Lovely.
crit rolls this week.
All right. Jin.
It's dark. I take it.
It is.
Still. I'm gonna port behind the guy and whack him.
I will tell you this.
Yes.
You do not get advantage for any reason that is related to him not being able to see you.
Okay. I get advantage for porting
Yeah.
back
So
to him. So
yep.
the first one, it'll be a advantage, but the rest of them are not. So
Yeah, you're actually kind of shocked that as soon as you pour it back there and you hit him, and you do hit, that he like looks directly at you.
gotcha. Yeah, so 10 points. He can make a save, con save for stun, if I can stun him.
Let's see. Yeah, let's make that con save. Ouch.
Yeah,
No fucking way.
he's stunned.
You know what? Actually,
Does he have legendary resistance?
hold on. He's going to do this instead, making your attack miss.
Oh,
All right. Then the second attack is a normal.
Did he see the attacker because he ported?
He
yeah. Mm.
Let's see the attacker.
I did port.
did port behind him.
And he said he turned and looked after the attack.
Oh man.
It's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Freaking jerks. Yeah, he's
Blue Warriors.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
tell us. All right.
Second attack, I take it to stun is
Right. Yeah. You get advantage.
Blah, blah, blah.
So wait, is he? You said stunned,
Yeah.
incapacitated. Okay. Yep. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, so blah, blah. That was the port for the bonus action. That was the 2 attacks. Here's a dread ambusher attack.
It's possible to be
18?
18 misses.
Alright. That's what I got. But I stunned him, so yay me.
basically, yeah. So basically, so with
Webley.
Webley's Webley is hard charging in. Webley's gonna click his little button. Hard charging in, right there.
Yeah. If you
Three
look,
swings with the scimitar speed. Oh.
Stabby stab.
All right. You do get advantage.
Yep. But an 18 misses, you said, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Bummer. No, he should not have any dex on that either, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I think he
That 21. That 21 does hit, though.
automatically fails strength and dex saving throws.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, the 21 does hit.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 15. And for a bonus action, we're going to come at it with one more with a 28. And that's 19 points. And
Do you get sneak attack for more than one attack per round?
no, I don't. No, I don't. I am sorry. 12 points.
And then
So
what?
15. I'm going to spend the last of my movement. Backing up.
So 46 is still pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice job on the stun there, buddy.
Bell.
Ah, she gonna waste a rage on this guy.
Didn't that recharge on your on
I
your
think
short
the long
rest?
rest.
I
Oh,
think,
I wouldn't waste a rage on him.
yeah, no, but I can't. I could only move. That's it. And maybe swipe with an elbow at him. Yeah. Oops, no rage. 7.
21 does hit. Go ahead and roll again so you get the advantage.
Mhm.
All right. So the 21 does hit, and we'll say you do the 10 or 7. 7. All right. And anything else?
Nope.
Azure.
Okay, so I'm gonna run forward. I think that's my 30 feet. There. And I'm gonna throw my dwarven thrower.
With advantage.
Okay. 26 and 26 hits.
All right, the 26 does hit.
16.
That is, 16.
Now, if he wants, he can try to parry because he did see me. If it makes it feel any better.
Doesn't matter. He's stunned.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. No, you can't. See, I'm trying to be nice to the DM, like give the DM a fighting chance.
All right, and he's done until the end of your next turn, right, Jen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless
So
you stun him again.
He's stunned.
Wait a minute.
Alright.
When you're stunned, you automatically fail what?
Dex and strength saving throws.
Dex is that can. Okay.
So when you're stunned, you're incapacitated, which means you can't take actions or reactions.
Right.
And you can't move, and you can speak only falteringly.
Huh. Unless you're in a cone of silence, in which case you aren't speaking at all.
Right. Yeah. You see his lips moving.
But I can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was good, damn it.
If I awarded inspiration, you'd get one.
Yeah.
Playvax, what do you do?
I'll step forward and Eldritch Blast.
With advantage.
Oh, well,
You could always crit. I would roll it again anyway.
yeah, I'll just roll them again.
All right. Yep, just roll 3 more times. We know all 3 hit. All right, no crits. So give me, let's see. I'll take the first 3 damage rolls. 7 plus 9 plus 14
30.
That is 21, 30. Yep. Anything else?
No, that'll do for now.
Jin.
All right. I'll whack him. Sorry, ignore that 5. So 7. And
Okay.
does 19 hit?
Oh, 19 does not hit.
And then the bonus action. This is as well.
All right, so he is no longer stunned.
Correct.
Woo! So no more advantage. Webley. Unless you'd like to move, Jin.
Not good.
I can't move Jim, but I can move Webley. We're gonna go there. Same as before. Scimitar speed at 28 hits.
Yep.
And we will turn off the sneak damage this time. That's 21. That's a big one. That hit.
Yeah, it does.
And now. And then, we'll move out to about here.
Emberbell.
I will do a full attack. That hit.
That does hit. That does hit.
So 23, 20, 31.
Okay, this guy looks really, really beat up. But he is still standing.
That's a lot of hit points he's got.
Azure.
Roll my dwarven thrower again. 25.
Are you getting that radiant damage as well?
Yep.
Cool.
He is going to cause it to miss.
Okay.
Using his parry.
But it's not a melee
Anything
attack.
else?
It's a ranged attack.
Oh, god damn it.
I mean, I don't care for them. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm just saying it is a ranged attack. I didn't know.
It's a good eye, man. Good eye.
It is a range because it's thrones.
Yeah. You sorry bastards. He didn't get to do anything.
I'll drop the silence immediately. So our spellcasters can cast.
That can't
So
be
is the-
moved at all, can it?
No.
Okay.
So as the DM, sometimes I reserve the right to retcon some things. I would like to retcon the part where I said that this was going to be super challenging, and I was worried about that you guys were going to die.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, we're not done yet.
We'll come back to the main.
All right. Silence is down. I'm going to pop up a pass without trace again.
All right. So everybody gets +10 to their stealth rolls.
And we're trying to be stealthy and stay close.
I think it's up.
All right.
Oh, wait. This room had a bunch of bones and shit in it last time that came alive. If
Oh,
Jen
we also
recognizes
destroyed
that, she goes, hey, wait a second. There was a bunch of bones and shit in this room that came alive.
Each of the burial chambers houses the remains of a different noble family of Tower and is appropriately marked as such. Their bones are interred inside niches within the walls, which are 3 feet wide, 3 feet high, 9 feet deep, and stacked 3 high along the walls. So you see all these little divots.
Yeah.
What is your passive perception, Jin?
Past perception is 17.
Okay. Would you like to give me a perception check?
Sure. I think about 9.
Yep. You don't really see anything interesting. You do see that the bones are there in the interred in the niches in the walls.
Okay, but last time, do I remember there was a bunch of shit on the ground?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, all the bones were on the ground, and they created a difficult terrain and tried to grab you guys and stop you from running away and things like that.
So I will continue, and we're going to go north.
AFK a second, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be right
All
back.
right. But he's next to us.
All right. North, you see another chamber that looks very much the same. These couple of chambers are all vaults of the Youth Lords.
Yeah, we ended up going this way. That's
Everybody else, give me a perception check as well. I'm gonna do one. Well, Webley and Hammerbell, you both notice, and just because Webley's passive perception and such, you both notice the bone piles are slightly shifting.
Oh.
And Webley mentions it to the rest of the party. That, guys, those bones are definitely moving.
what happens if we step out of the room quickly?
Nothing. So Azure's already out of the room.
Okay. I step out of the room.
Oh, sorry, I'm sitting there moving Fairfax when I mean to move Webley. Yeah. You guys step out of the room and nothing seems to happen.
I think Spirit Guardians kind of put them in their place last time, so I'm not too worried about them.
Did we we've all rolled our. Have we rolled stealth this go around? I think we're trying to be stealthy.
I've not had you roll stealth yet.
Wasn't the thing this way?
I think it was up here.
It was.
Turned right.
It was. You guys recall it being at the end of the hallway that contains all the vaults of the Youth Lords, and then you head south.
All right. So we're not fucking around long in this room.
Same situation. And Webley says, "Yeah, these bones are moving. Let's
I think he's right around the
quietly."
corner. You guys ready?
Let's tease it.
Yep. So you guys get out of there, and not a whole lot of the you can still Webley still hears like the bones like barely shifting in the back.
Yes. Now we're going to the big chamber. It would now be a good time to cast the prayer. It's a minute. Fairfax.
Well, Beacon of Hope is a 1 minute duration, so yeah, I'll cast that now.
I mean, 1 minute. Do we want to get to the top of the stairs and then see things, or do we?
I'm not sure. Does that villain have a monologue? That's usually longer than a minute.
Exactly.
Words are free. Words are free.
All right. If he's going to cast it, we're not going to dilly-dally.
Bro, I'm bad.
All right. So once he cast, we're walking in.
Oh,
Right. So once Fairfax casts, what's he casting now? Beacon of Hope. Thank you. Hope and Vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range. Advantage on Wisdom saves and Death saves. Regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing. Okay.
When we do this, when we do the hero scroll we got earlier, the
Holy Aura?
aura one.
Well,
Holy
that's awesome. It's a minute too, right?
Or I want to
There's
hold
10
just in
there's a
case.
10 minutes.
Which one? Holy Aura?
Yeah.
That's duration is concentration 1 minute.
Yeah,
I want to
pop
hold
it.
on that one. I think. You think?
You
Pop it.
hold on to that? Okay, hold on to
wanna
it. Hold on to it.
It's an action. I can always do it later.
All right.
I'm not the damage dealer. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Once the 1 minute goes, we're
Once I
moving
see something,
basically
I'll have it.
combat time.
Yeah, I'll have it in my hand. As soon as I see something, I'll pop it. Essentially, is the idea.
Okay.
But we're not entirely
All
sure
right.
it's going to be here.
Right.
Okay. Graven steps here ascend into a wide octagonal chamber with a high vaulted ceiling. The mosaic floor is littered with rubble, and a pool of murky water floods the far side of the chamber. Strange fungi cling to the moist walls. That's all.
All right. Like I said, we're no dilly-dallying. So if we can get down to here within 20 or 30 seconds,
Let's go. It's a nice
Yep.
little jog.
we're down to here. We still see nothing, right?
I'm gonna say you guys pop the thing here, and
Okay.
you jump over here.
10.
And, To the north, does anybody see anything to the north?
Not
big
yet.
pile. Oh, I see I see a little wing.
I don't see
Now I
anything.
see a big,
something.
yeah.
To the north, an arched hallway plunges into the dark. As you approach, a hollow voice booms from beyond. You have fought bravely, little ones, and thwarted me at every turn. Your victories are hollow, for now you face the Ebon Death. And for the final time in the campaign, roll initiative.
Oh, that hits hard.
Oh,
I got a
terrible
question.
initiative.
Since we're all running down, could we at least been a little bit more spread out?
Yeah,
We know he has
say,
we know he has a
too late
fucking
now.
breath weapon.
I'll say this line here is like the line you guys can, within 3 or 4 tiles of that, spread out down here if you want.
It's not going to matter if the breath weapon's going to hit all that. But anyway, sure.
So, all right, let's go ahead and begin the combat. And I'm going to start by telling you the Ebon Death Ghost does not have a breath weapon.
No.
Can the DM lie?
DM can do whatever he wants.
And there you go.
If the DM says it, it can never be a lie. So no, the DM cannot lie.
DM could change his mind though.
No, they're eye rays now. It's not a breath weapon.
Yep. So, Ebon Death is going to fly down here,
Okay.
and he is going to look like he's about to. It looks like he's about to breathe, and he brings his face very close to Webley, and instead you see his essence begin to go into Webley's face, through his eyes, through his mouth, through his nose.
Oh,
And
I love it.
Webley, I want you to make a charisma saving throw.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Hey, what's my DC, just out of curiosity? Is it 22?
Sweet.
All right. So, yeah. You go ahead and Webley sneezes. And the Ebon Death is recoiling, and instead is just going to go for a strike against him.
Ebon Death must have seen his real face.
Yeah.
And that is a miss. So, way to start out, Ebon Death. Yeah. Azure.
I go ahead and pop the scroll.
Well, move over. You got to get us
Oh,
all.
I gotta be over?
You got to be over like one
I'll
or two.
walk over to be on the safe
There
side.
you go.
So, do you want to glow, glow it all, Jen?
Yeah, that's fine. I want all the saves and disadvantage and shit. I mean, it's disadvantage to hit, so it's the same as, yeah.
Assuming a ghost is undead.
It is an undead.
Is or isn't? Sorry.
It is not. It is. It
Oh,
is.
it is. Okay.
Cool. All right.
I pop the scroll. Then I will action surge and booming blade. And since it finally loads up my character sheet. There it goes.
That's a hit.
$14 damage.
I don't know what blunt damage is. I can't apply that to a
bludgeoning.
creature.
Yeah.
I was in the trying to remember how fucking spells bludgeoning. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you smoked a bowl and blew it in his face. There, blunt damage.
Chronic damage.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that is it.
All right. Bearvex.
I'm in melee range right now, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's vulnerable to radiant damage. Sacred Flame. Oh wow, that roll was bad. Alright. I am going to use spell points or sorcery points to re-roll damage.
Oh, you want to reroll damage? Okay.
3d8. Actually, I'll just throw it out again. Really?
Ah,
Twig.
Oh man,
Okay, fine. That's it. That is what it is.
is that the end of your turn?
And then spiritual weapon.
All right, that is a hit.
Awesome.
And Mox flies over and attacks him or something.
Yeah.
All right. That was 8 force. Okay. Hammerbell.
He's going all out, reckless rage.
Ooh, I forgot. Add additional 5 radiant damage for radiant soul.
Very well. Reckless rage. Come on, Hammerbell.
Advantage. Yes.
Look at that.
Very nice.
It's
Back.
23.
So
back.
I need 3d6. D12? 3d12, right?
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
I think Hammerbell's pretty satisfied with herself.
Yep, that's a hit.
So let's see. 23, 45 plus 46, 49.
Yep. Yeah. What would you like to do? Anything else? Any other damage to my final monster, Zen?
Can't. I wish I could. You could kick.
Speaking of picks, Jim.
I'll port behind him. And there's a first hit
That hits.
for 6. Probably misses.
That does miss.
And here's a dread ambusher. And that misses.
That also misses, yeah. So 6 bludgeoning.
Yeah, 6 whole points of damage. All right.
We're giving the GM hope.
Yeah.
You've heard that Robin Williams thing about golf, right?
Yeah.
Give him fucking hope.
That's
I
all I
don't
got.
like that.
Webley.
Webley is going to be a little oddball here. He's going to spend a bonus action casting Tasha's Otherworldly Guise. I can put it up if you want it.
Yes, please.
Okay. I am going to, instead of... I'm going to Hexblade Curse, which is normally a... target is... Hey, it doesn't even take an action, I don't think.
Is it a spell?
No. The Hexblade's Curse?
Okay.
No. The curse ends? It is... Yeah, there it is real quick. I didn't see anything.
As a bonus
bonus.
action.
Okay, so I'm going to spend my normal action doing that. And then I am going to fly up about 20 feet. I'll just fly up 20 feet.
All right, you're about eye to eye with this shadowy.
How high is the roof here? The ceiling?
It's about 40 feet up.
Okay. I may go up. I'm going to go up to the roof, I think.
Okay.
With my angelic wings, by the way. Angelic.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. And is that the end of your turn?
Copy that.
Unfortunately, yes, it is. I do it better.
All right. Everybody give me wisdom saving throws
With advantage.
with advantage.
With advantage.
Fuck.
Oh, man. Really?
How the hell? Didn't you roll a 2 in your fucking...
I rolled one. I rolled 2 ones. How the heck does that happen?
Sorry, my curse bounced.
All right. So, Jin and Fairvex. are both frightened. Let me remind myself about frightened. Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is in sight, and can't willingly move closer. All right. Next up is going to be swiping down at Hammerbell,
With this, or with nothing.
actually with advantage.
No,
Nope.
he's
It's canceled out.
disadvantaged.
He's
So
disadvantaged.
normal.
You cancel
Wait,
out.
why is he? Why is
Because
he
she's
dis?
holy word.
Oh, okay. So it cancels out. Got it.
Mhm.
Holy,
And-
holy
and-
what?
Totally
Everybody has
missed it.
holy aura on them.
The scroll I cast earlier.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, and then once he misses and he realizes he's being a little overwhelmed here, the shadowy dragon, the shadows dissipate, and so you guys cannot currently see the dragon. Azure, what will you do?
Okay, just as a quick question, I do have this. If he's still within 10 feet of me,
Yeah. You specifically know that he is no longer within 10 feet of you.
okay,
It's as if with your blind sight, you could definitely tell that he just faded away from existence itself on this plane.
okay.
We won! Yay!
Yay! Get
Good
the
job,
stuff.
team.
Get the loot.
What?
All right, Azure, what will you do?
Make him come back. Taunt him.
I'm going to move down here a little bit and dodge action.
Okay.
Yeah, he should have disadvantage on you regardless.
I don't know, just him being.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically him fine defensively.
Ervex. Ervex, what will you do?
Hey, he's no longer inside, so if you're afraid, it doesn't count anymore, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll move this way for now.
All right.
And move that there, and nobody's actually been hurt yet, so I'll just ready it. I'll just ready an action to Eldritch Blast him when he reappears.
Emerbell.
I'm gonna join. He's up in the air, right? I'll join Azure. Try. I can't really try to beat you up, can I? I'm losing my rage.
Try, have it. I don't give a shit.
You got plenty of rage left.
Yeah.
Rage.
Yeah, I'll just wait right here. Ready. I'll rage again.
Okay. Jin.
Action to end the fear, even though I fear, just in case he shows up again.
Oh, right. Fairvex, give me a saving throw, by the way. Another wisdom save. There. Now you are no longer feared.
And I will move out to here.
You specifically note that these coins are grabbable.
Cool. That's what I got. I'm looking up.
Webley.
Lovely. Staying near the roof. Flying about over to here. Searching. I don't know what for.
Searching for love.
Actually,
In
yeah.
all the wrong
If
places.
we start grabbing his hoard, he may come back. I like that idea.
So, as you're kind of looking around and everybody's looking around, you see that shadows start forming around yourself and your shield, and you hear the voice of the Ebon Death say, "Morden cannot save you now." And Azure, I want you to give me a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
You got this. Or not. Oh, yes, you do!
24.
Oh my god! Wow!
A for
Wow!
holy aura.
So
So, question: what is
as these
can I
as these
whisper back?
shadows,
Can I whisper back? Miracle can't save you now. Can I whisper that back?
that's exactly what you do.
Okay.
The bright the holy symbol that you forged personally onto your shield shines bright, and it disperses the shadows, and the Ebon Death is there, revealed. You know, they have to form once again from the ethereal plane back on the material one, unable to possess you, and so now he is going to try and attack you.
Okay.
Which also doesn't work
With
very well for
disadvantage.
him.
With disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Boop. All right. So, yeah, doesn't work. Azure, what will you do now that you have appropriately thwarted the Ebon Death as if he were not as challenging as he should be?
I'm going to do my Radiant Soul to show someone how it's really done.
Sure.
Because my eyes don't glow, damn it.
You're extra glowy. You got
Yeah,
the holy aura and the extra holy aura.
Yep. And then I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon and smack him with it. I don't get advance on attacks, do I?
No.
I don't believe so, no.
No, I do not. So it's first one, a 12.
Does not hit.
Okay,
You can go ahead and bring your weapon out, though.
I did.
Oh, there it is.
I just
All
did.
right.
I wanted to get the. Yeah, you're good.
Fairvex.
All right, let's light him up with Eldritch Blast. Hit. Do we get advantage on attack?
No.
No.
No, we don't. Okay, let me switch that back.
That's another hit. And that's another hit. So it's a total of 13, 7. All right, so 29. And another 10. Hammerbell, will you rage once again?
Yes, and reckless.
See, everyone else has to question whether or not they get advantage. Hammerbell doesn't have that problem.
She gets a generator own.
So that is 11 plus 10, so minus 21.
You
And-
raged. You had to rage again, so you don't get that third attack.
Jin,
Keep looting. We got this.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say I can pretty much just loot. I
Oh,
can make it.
Jin, while you're standing there,
Yeah.
you see a lot of gold. It's well over 12,000 in gold,
Yeah.
and
Even carry that much.
and there are 10 jet black gemstones. There are 2 potions that you recognize as potions of healing, just you don't know what level, and another potion that's kind of like, it looks like lightning in a bottle, literally.
Sure.
And then there is a circlet as well that, I mean,
Cool.
you could tell that's magical, but you don't know much else.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can make it down there 60 feet, blah, blah, blah. I'll burn a key to have 120 movement. Move down to there. Whack him twice, maybe. 20,
That's a hit.
26.
That's a hit. So 14.
And she has about that much more movement to move back.
That the end of your turn?
Yep.
Webley. Can you guys hear me munching on these chips?
No, not really.
No.
Okay. All right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being bothersome.
Rebel's flying in, going for the 3 strikes on the scimitar speed. That looks like it misses.
That is a hit.
No, really, 14.
Wait, how's he
And then-
hitting?
What do you mean?
Seriously?
All right.
With a
Wait.
15?
Why do you have advantage?
I don't have advantage.
Oh, then the 14 misses.
The 14 misses, but the 20 hits.
Yes.
Why did I have advantage up there?
Saving throws.
Because of the saving throw
Okay.
setting.
Okay, so 18. And we'll go for a bonus action on the third. The 15 hits then, and that's another 12.
So that's 30.
Yep.
All right. The Ebondeath ghost is kind of, he's less solid. His shadows seem to be dispersing, and as they kind of float away like if you've ever dumped a liquid that is not water into water and you see it just like distribute itself, it looks like that, but with shadows and air. And then you can see that the Ebondeath reconstitutes itself back into a solid form, but it takes a lot of effort. He is not doing so well. Webley, was that the end of your turn?
It was, but I forgot. I had 2 hits. He's gonna take 5-10 points more damage from the Hexblade Curse.
Oh, what kind of damage is that?
What did he say? Hang on a minute.
I think it's extra.
It's a bonus to damage rolls of the accursed target. Bonus equals your proficiency bonus.
Well,
So
no,
it's
no,
the same.
no.
It's probably the weapon damage. It
Yeah.
does not. It actually say.
Oh, okay,
It'd be flashing, right?
All right. This freaking ghost guy. He's gonna try one more time.
Breath weapon recharges.
He's gonna try one more time.
On who?
Hammerbell, give me a charisma saving throw.
With advantage.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Oh, 16.
The Ebondeath and its shadows wrap itself around Hammerbell, and you see as the shadows dissipate entirely, she turns towards you, Webley,
Mhm.
and her eyes are completely black.
Aw.
Sweet.
And
So, Azure, what will you do?
Okay, so I reach out in concern to touch Hammerbell's shoulder
Uh-huh.
and
Make it
cast
too late.
cast protection from evil. which gives her charm, frighten, or possess. The target's already. Oh no, target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect. So never mind. I don't do
Okay.
that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. She already has advantage on saving throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have Dispel Evil and Good?
At the time.
No.
That'd be 5th level, isn't it?
I think it is 5th level. And common motions, lesser restoration. I got regular Dispel Magic.
Yeah.
I doubt
That
it.
would. I mean, you could try. I'm not going to say it won't work, but you could try.
Remove curse.
Try remove curse.
Dispel magic should work too. I'm just reading them. One creature, object, magical effect within range.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts as a magical effect, as it's.
But here's the actual write-up.
Okay. Besides ones that turn undead, can I make it run? Just to go.
The possession lasts until the body drops to 0 hit points. The ghost ends it as a bonus action, or the ghost is turned or forced out by an effect like the Dispel Evil and Good spell.
Yeah,
that seems pretty specific.
Yeah.
The ghost is
Yeah,
turned. So I can do a turn on dead. I can do a turn on dead. Until the ghost is turned or forced out.
But it has to be turned or forced out by an effect like the Dispel Evil or Good spell.
Yeah.
So a turn on dead won't do it because it depends how you read it. Is it turned or is it forced out? Is it forced out?
Well, or the ghost is turned
spell?
or forced out by an effect like Dispel Evil.
Oh, the first sentence. Except once they turn undead.
Yeah, it's turned. Yeah, I think that's the intention.
Targeted
Is
by attack spell or other effects.
Yeah, you basically have to turn it.
Yeah, so you can
wait, but the ghost can't be
targeted by any attack spell or other effect except ones that turn undead.
Yeah.
So you can we can target the ghost with turn undead.
Yeah.
Okay.
To force it out.
All right.
Yeah, if
That's what it's saying.
if it fails to save, it probably gets forced out. Like,
All right. Have at it.
So there you go.
What do I gotta do? It's a wisdom save, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
My DC is 17. It's out.
Nope.
Figures.
Well, that's one.
Yep. That's one.
That's fair.
Anything else, Andrew?
Hold on. I'll see if they have disadvantage on saving throws or not because the holy thing. I'm reading it now. Sorry.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Even if he had disadvantage, he would have.
Oh, yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
If legendary saves.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Is that an action? Yeah. That's all I
Yeah.
do then.
Revex.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this. Let's do. What can I do?
You can hit Hammerbell.
Yeah, Hammerville's gonna have to drop to 0. Probably.
I have Revivify, guys.
We got to raise
Well,
dead scroll too.
Yeah, we gotta drop to 0. I mean,
That's much more efficient, Webley. Good point.
Hey, things like hold person might work better on her.
Yeah, I don't have those. Or do I? Wait a minute. Do I have a scroll of that?
Asher, do you have that?
regardless, he's just gonna sit inside of her.
Well, you don't know that. Make it just a sitting when she can't move. No, a paralyzed body. We'll
Yeah.
send her downstream, see how well he swims.
Sources.
I will fly up 20 feet, and I will throw a couple Eldritch Blasts her way.
Okay, go ahead. That's a hit. 14 plus 11, that's 25. That's 32. All right. Hammerbell is hit by your Eldritch Blast.
Sorry, Hammerbell.
And
Okay.
even though you know it's the Evandeth saying it, Hammerbell looks at you, Fairfax, and says, Why? Why would you attack your friend?
Get out of her.
And to the party in general, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Is that all you got? Ouch.
No, it's not.
Ouch.
Mox is vicious tonight.
Yes. Mox is not having it. All right. Yeah. So in the middle of being mocked, Mox comes in and just stings the side of Hammerbell's head, and she gets knocked over prone. However, it is now Hammerbell's turn. And Hammerbell, you feel the undeniable compulsion to attack.
Yeah, but she's got to spend her. Oh, well, she's got to. Do you have to spend an action to stand up from getting prone, or is it just
half movement?
Okay.
So Hammerbell, give me. You're gonna rage.
Isn't Webley flying?
Webley's
Shut up. Shut up. Yes, Webley's 30 feet up in the air, so.
No.
Come on, bring it. Bring it.
All right.
Oh my
Four
God.
fucking jumps.
You know what? You're gonna attack Azure.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a full Great Axe and Great Hammer strike with advantage on Azure.
Miss.
Oh,
So
can you soak those 10 points, Azure?
Fuck yeah.
Azure, you take 10 points.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you're attacking Hammerbell, you get advantage.
Okay.
Jin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see any other way, so Jen will run up,
Thunder.
whack Hammerbell a couple times. I mean, I could try to stun her, but what good's that going to do?
I don't know.
Plus, she has ungodly con saves anyway. So there's first hit, there's a second hit, which misses.
All right, so
So
7
7
bludgeoning.
If she's raging, that's half.
Yep.
And Jin ports back to stay out of the way of any. Actually, she's going to make sure she ports the full distance because she doesn't want Hammerbell closing in. So there we go. That's what I got.
All right.
Fairfax is flying too. I think we're fine because she's just going to be a little.
Yeah, she's a ground pounder, right?
And Azure can take it.
Fuck that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
fly
I'll
up.
take it.
I'm gonna fly up. What do you mean I can take it?
Actually, that's not if it can't hit any of us.
It
You
might
guys just
decide to
keep-
come out,
You guys
yeah.
just keep shooting down at him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Dudley.
Okay, I'm gonna close some distance, but I'm still a good 30 feet up in the air. And we're not gonna get our sneak attack, but we are gonna go. And I apologize, Eldritch Blast.
That's
Oh,
a
that
hit.
probably hit. Now, since I cursed Ebendeth, does the damage for my attacks go from
It does not, because you're hitting Hammerbell and not Ebendeth.
Oh, okay.
You can't target Ebendeth.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so that's 19. It's 15 misses, doesn't it?
No. So that is
really?
19 force.
19 force. All right. So 9.
because she's not resistant to force damage.
Oh, okay, right.
Azure.
Okay. Booming Blade. Start there.
And just so I'll stop forgetting, she is reckless, so you guys get
It's got
advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. Next time.
24 to hit.
All right, that hits. All right, that is 16, 24. Oh, wait, I gotta.
Well, at
no,
least he
that's
didn't possess Azure, because this would have been a lot longer.
13.
Yeah.
Then spiritual weapon.
That's a hit.
Ignore the radiant. And then yeah, I fly up. And back a little bit.
Fairvex.
She gets to swipe it
Yeah.
at him for flying up.
Oh yeah, that's true. Bell, give me a hammer with advantage.
Yikes.
Nah, shield.
Sweet.
All right, Fairvex.
All right, we'll keep pummeling with the Eldritch Blast.
You get a 29 with shield?
All right, the first two of those hit.
You have advantage. We'll see if we got some criticals in there.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 3 more times.
Oh, I forgot about advantage. Sorry.
All right, so 25, 24, 17, 26, 18, 24. So all 3 of those hit then.
Okay.
And let's add the 14 and the 7, that's 21, with the one that hit down here, 21 plus 13 is 34.
Close.
Hammerbell looks about as damaged as she possibly can. And she's looking around at you all, and in the Ebondeath's voice, it's just saying, "No, guys, stop hurting me. I'm your friend."
Uh-huh.
And Hammerbell, you are going
don't forget Mox.
Oh, right, yeah, all right. Oh man,
Ma takes down everybody tonight.
so Hammerbell is released.
Damn it. I was
She
hoping
is
to figure out
loose.
Booming Blade.
She has loosed the mortal coil, and the ghost. I guess we'll put him up here. The ghost comes out.
He's just shocked, like, I thought I was evil. What the fuck?
It's just like, "I will do this to all of you. Praise be to Mirkul." And Jin.
All right.
Yeah, you're running out of targets.
Jin moves in. Wax.
Ooh,
Yay.
nice.
For 6 points of that big crit.
Hey, Jin.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time fighting shadow dragons. Tell me how you kill this one.
Sweet. It's the big, gigantic flying kick to the nose.
Come on, this is it.
It runs up the tail and does a big hammer drop on the back of the neck as it roars in terrible pain.
Yeah. Big hammer drop on the back of the neck severs that portion of the shadow from the rest of the body. So you see the severed shadowy head fall to the ground and just disperse, and the rest of the body slowly fades away like it's about to tell Mr. Stark it doesn't feel so good. And
Oh gosh.
Ouch.
and that is the end of the Ebondeath.
Somebody
Yay.
hit Bell.
Oh, she
Wait,
can get up.
wait.
She
I
can
kind
get
of like
up.
that hammer she's been carrying. What do you mean get up?
She has this. She has this.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you make your saving throw? I want to see the saving throw. I know you've got a plus 10. I know.
I got a plus 10.
Oh,
There you go.
this would have kept the fight going though.
Not really. He didn't know. He could have just
He didn't know.
ended it.
Mm.
The
He
ghost
came out.
It says you can make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. So
Okay.
seeing as how he didn't, this doesn't apply.
All right.
So you guys are going to have to find some other way of resurrecting Hammerfell.
Oh.
Wait, she hasn't made her saving throws yet. Her death saving throws.
That's true. That's true. You could just cast the
You
cure
can literally-
wounds.
Yeah. Fairfax. Fuck, I guess the
What's that?
cleric could do it.
No,
I
guys.
Fuck the ranger will go up and cast the cure wounds.
Wait. Guys, this treasure breaks down so much nicer 4 ways than 5.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Give her a big potion. Because if she's at 1, she's good, and yeah, we don't need to use Revivify, which is expensive.
Yeah.
We don't care anymore.
Yeah. All right. So you guys get a shit ton of money, and
There's the cure wound
Yay.
from the ranger.
Because we don't have like a cleric and a holy roller sorcerer.
I would have had Revivify.
so in addition to the treasure I just dropped in the chat, characters who destroy Ebondeath's spirit can report their success to the authorities in Neverwinter, who award them a purse of 8,000 gold. This is the final quest. Your adventure ends here.
Wow.
Good job, guys.
And
So,
Yeah,
DM,
okay.
where is this? Some
So,
threatening.
hold on.
Hold on.
There is a feast in Leyland that follows when you guys return. The lizard folk are there. You know, the ones. Some of them were killed in the battle, the siege of Leyland. The lizard folk are there. The were rats are there. Some of the gnomes are there. So this is a chance to celebrate your victory. I imagine the party will specifically remember Rivix. The council will mourn the loss of Valdi Estepar, though none of them blame the party for that loss, of course.
Sure.
She died down in the quayside, down by the docks. And Jack Torver is among those in the council, and he is sitting next to a gnome who looks very peculiar with all that glitter in her cleavage.
Oh yeah, glitter boobs. What about? I said we give like the extra 8,000 gold to the city council to help rebuild the.
Absolutely.
We need the rebuilding of the town.
To erect a monument in our honor. What?
Yeah, exactly.
We could use the Raised Dead scroll on Valdi.
You know, it's not resurrect; it's raised dead. Make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. She's been dead more than 10 days.
She's not. Hold on, raised dead.
That's a zombie, isn't it?
No.
No, it's raised dead, but it can't replace parts or stuff like that. So if she's like missing a heart or something, we can't use it.
Right. Yeah, animate that's the zombie one.
Okay.
You return a dead creature you touch to life, provided that it has been dead no longer than 10 days. The creature's body is both willing and at liberty to rejoin the body. Yeah, you could totally resurrect Valdi.
Nice.
Well, yeah, let's pop it.
What a fantastic party trick. That.
Yeah.
Breltora Red Eye is also at this mentioning, or at this soiree, sitting next to Valdi now, who is alive. And she is holding the hand of Sergeant Jessup, promoted after Haz Yoram was found hiding in a broom closet during the siege of Leyland, and relieved of his duty. And Breltora will call on the attendees to remember also the swords of Leyland and their contribution and sacrifice in the fight against the dragon as well. The triptych painting of the three warriors hangs nearby: the dark-skinned warrior woman, the gruff-looking dwarf, and the wise wizard with the kind face that nobody can remember his name, except for you guys.
Sure.
Griselda also stands to make a toast to the new heroes of Leyland. May they be remembered forevermore as the saviors of our proud town, and welcomed in every home and tavern from Waterdeep to Neverwinter as guests of honor.
And painkiller.
Yeah, and friend killer. The key here, remember, is we still have the ruin stone.
Yeah, that's going to be our tie-in if we ever come back.
I just want that to be remembered. Ruin stone still exists. Nobody else knows about it. I mean, we may have to kill what's his face just to keep it a secret. But yeah.
Well, what's-his-face no longer has a way to enter the ethereal plane right there, so he has no way of corroborating whether or not it still does exist.
Oh, yeah, but
Roblar.
Roblar's the only other two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Revelar.
Yeah, he knows that it exists, and he's the only other person. So.
Yeah, we'll see right before the credits roll, Robillard winks at the camera.
Yeah, but then Sidious slapped.
Yeah,
a real magnum kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear that Vincent Price laugh from Thriller.
Yeah. Nice.
And that is the series of adventures called Beyond the Dragon of Icefire Peak.
Well, that was nice. Except the only thing that was odd is why the Ebon Death was such a badass. He was more of a badass the first time we hit him.
Well, he was weakened. We already knew that.
Well, yeah.
The first time you saw the Ebon Death,
yeah,
it was in his own realm.
Oh,
so
okay.
he was very highly empowered.
Gotcha.
The second time you saw him was while he was possessing Old Nabum,
Right.
and he brought the cleric down some hit points. But I mean, you guys wrecked him. And then this time, this entire session has been a series of me being like, woohoo, wahaha, let's do this. And then my guys like fail a saving throw, or you cast silence on them or something, and completely nullify the advantages. The necromancer that you stunned in the first fight, Jin, he was gonna cast Cloud Kill on all you guys like bunched up at the door, and did not get a chance to do that. Or no, he did.
Yeah, we did get the Cloud Kill for a round.
He did for one round, and then he was going to do some other stuff, and then even Uluran Mortis was going to do some more things. That weird vestige dude.
Yeah, I figured he was going to be a badass, wasn't he?
He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be a total badass. Remember the Hellfire Orb that hit Azure and did like 70 points of damage?
Right.
Yeah, he had one of those clasped in his hands that he was going to throw, and he never got that opportunity. And then he was also going to cast something else. What was it?
Yeah.
He was going to cast is it called Force Blade or Destructive Wave?
Yeah.
Destructive Wave, which is another AOE blast everything around me with force damage and do tons of damage. And so like if there was no healing, depending on the role of the Hellfire Orb and the Destructive Wave, like some of you were going to go down, but none of that happened. So congrats.
So you're saying someone spoke too soon?
Stun and silence, or silence on spell dudes is a little
devastating.
Yeah.
So I've been super excited to finish up the campaign, not because I didn't like playing it, but because of all the lessons I've learned over the last 2 years, and how I want to build my next campaign. And just things with certain things about prepping and certain things about knowing things about the world, and specifically the economy. I felt like I was very weak on world economy, and what items were in what shops and how much things cost and things like that. I was kind of just throwing shit out. So having that kind of thing, and I think in afterthought, Leyland is I don't know, it's kind of a boring town. Like a lot of things happen to this town, but it might as well be Angel Grove. It's just a cardboard cutout town of people that are constantly in danger, and the heroes have to save them.
Sure.
And with the exception of the few things that I really try to keep going, like Breltor, Red Eye, and Corporal Jessup, and the few people that were captured by the Ebon Death, and then I had them come back, and stuff like that. Like as written, I'm very happy with how it turned out. But
Yeah, you did a great job. I think everybody
Yeah.
had fun. It was
Yeah.
a really good conclusion to a great campaign, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, it was really good.
I always have to tell myself, like, man, I hope I'm not going easy. I hope I'm not going too easy on you guys. But then I have to remind myself that you guys are pretty good with using the items and the spells and the things that you have to have some forethought about what could be done, and then you're easily thwarting the one or two mechanics that were going to be the linchpin of my attack.
right.
And it's not because you just walked in the room and laid waste. It's because you thought about it first. And so as long as you're doing that, I could never just be mad about
Right.
like having you walk over my encounters.
Yeah, and it's never really a competition. If you're having fun running it and we're having fun kicking the shit out of your guys,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't see it as a me versus you. I see it as a, man, did I do something wrong here? Did I make this way too easy? Because if all you're doing, imagine if every session was that there's 8 rounds of ghouls.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
That would be terrible. That would be terrible. And I actually hated running that a lot more than I thought I would. But but there was there was one aspect to it that was interesting. One, because we don't do that normally, and two, because it was meant to wear you down and you weren't going to get any resting in and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Well, a lot of so much shit also at kind of higher levels, revolve around hitting or missing a saving throw. I
Yeah.
mean, that can turn things quickly. So
Yeah. And it's always been that way too.
yeah,
The old save or die joke. But I am terrified the next time you run a game, every spellcaster is going to have like immunity to silence. Or
I usually try to sneak in some, my spellcasters. I'm like, this guy really would be have a counter spell available. There's some counter spells to be done. So
Yeah, counterspell, dispel magic, subtle
Yep.
spell if they're a sorcerer.
Yep.
yeah, just a lot of the room full of those guys casting hold person. I mean, that can be pretty devastating if you get six or seven guys low level casting stuff, but you fail a save. I mean, all of a sudden shit goes bad. So
You pick on the person with the low whiz save, and
yeah.
it's could have been devastating, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I liked it. I had a good time.
Yeah,
it was a lot of
fun.
fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, even though it might have come across as us, plowing through it without too much difficulty, there was actually a fair amount of challenge in all of these encounters.
Yeah.
It was one of those. That was the thing is we were being challenged. We actually did, make that strategic decision to rest. At that one point because we needed to. Because there were a lot of the resources that, we rely on were used up already. And that was only just the first couple encounters.
Yeah. All right. So
All right.
let's have a short discussion about 2 weeks from now. And what we need to do, because I think we've all agreed, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've all agreed on Scatter's going to run a game in a homebrew world of his, and we are going to be starting at level 1. Is there any objection to that?
That sounds like a plan.
What's that?
I thought it was his weapon.
Yeah, it's a frog god thing. So,
Okay,
but
it's not homebrew.
It's
Okay.
huge. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Is it? Oh, this is not homebrew?
Correct. It's a massive
Dungeon.
Yeah, I'll put some information out there so you can, if you want to do some general,
Okay.
This is what it is. But yeah, it's a massive. It's one that I've been playing as a character. Unfortunately, like I said, it's
This time.
Zen's been playing it as well. But I have an interesting background for her. I think if she's up to playing it, basically playing it through again, except there'll be tweaks and
Mhm.
stuff that she will not recognize. So yeah.
Okay.
So if she's
Okay.
cool with it, then I'm cool with it. And I think I have a you know, pretty cool way for her to be involved. So yeah.
Cool.
Right. And so in 2 weeks, we need to have a level 1 character prepared for the first session. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds good. There in the chat is the game.
Hold on,
So
I'm gonna end the stream real quick before I post that
Okay.
everywhere. Give me 1 second.
sure.
Anyone watching, have a good night. We should be
Good night.
streaming Wednesday for some video games, and next Sunday is Vampire the Masquerade. I'll see you guys then.